Welcome, everyone, to another BOLDcast live stream. How's it going, Frank? How's it going, Reactors Informatica? How's it going, Dark Shadow DX? From the popular anime known as Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it even DX? Sam Ham, Baseball Tomorrow. Trigger. Birdo Bert. Hiei. 38 months. Luca. 38-month bold enjoyers in the house.
They must really be enjoying
boldness. Thank you guys for all your support. That's a lot of $1 a month charges. I'm apologetic to say that we don't really have anything extreme planned for Halloween. We wanted to do something, but
we didn't.
But we didn't. A lot of this trend that you've been seeing recently of us wanting to do stuff and not doing it. Before it was just because we were really depressed. Now it's because we have a life. So, sorry about that. I know it's disappointing to many of you. But yeah, I don't know. We've said for a while that like it feels like we never COVID hit and then we have never changed. Like our life has been pretty much the same since 2020. But recently that has kind of changed. So like as far as basically this year, that's why we haven't been like before. It was if we would have like a lull or something, it would last not very much. Clearly cosplaying Toji. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we just have been. I instead of planning for a Halloween stream, I was planning for a Halloween D&D session. And that was really fun. And doing more stuff like that. Live stream when? Probably never, unfortunately.
But we've also lately, like, we kind of slacked off in the summer, but I feel like in the last month we've also been kind of like... Aww.
Dark Shadow with a $20 Canadian dollar super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Much love.
But yeah, we've been... we could have gone all out on a Halloween stream and then fallen behind on all of our like One Piece and Avatar and other stuff. Mm-hmm. So we've also been trying to just like balance our work, not only with our life but also just with other work, just different aspects of our work, because like we talked about during the last stream is we haven't really been streaming very much because originally when we first started the channel and we were streaming, we'd stream for like 2 hours every week.
Yeah.
And then later on it became that we would stream like once in a while but for like 6 hours, and then we'd be like, oh, that was so much work to stream for 6 hours, plus let's not do it, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so then it kind of deterred us a little bit. And then now, sorry, I'm getting distracted. So then now it's like we want to do things more often, but in more moderation, I guess. Like trying really hard to not get burnt out.
Yeah.
Which can be hard sometimes, but we're trying to find a balance, especially with the One Piece channel. That's just like such a extra, amount of work, and keeping up with seasonals and Avatar, and like trying to like then reincorporate streams back in is we want to. I don't know. We just want to make sure that we don't go crazy and then slack off, and then Patreon's behind and we're not posting on YouTube. We want to try and be more consistent, I guess, is the main thing.
Right. What's your favorite candy, chocolate, whatever sweet you like to eat?
For Halloween, or it's I don't know. When I was a kid, I really hated O. Henry's, but I like them now. I also really like Kit Kats. But I don't know. Maybe like...
By the way, Trigger, I think you're like way behind. Maybe we're way behind, but I think you're way behind. If whenever you see this, refresh the stream. Sorry, go on.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe Kit Kat is a good house.
Such a complicated question.
I'm sorry. I got distracted. I'm too easily distracted. But outside of Halloween, I feel like black licorice is really good. Oh, I like nibs. Like when you get like the little Halloween pack of like nibs or licorice. What about you?
Starburst, probably. It's usually very well wrapped and often not damaged when you're trick-or-treating. Are we playing Genshin? Fuck no. I to this day, not even because of the money we spent. Oh my god, Dark, relax. We're trying to talk here. Thank you. Jesus, you don't need to do that. It's a lot of money to just dump on the stream and give a lot of it to YouTube. Give it to us at least. And thank you, Dark.
Thank you.
My god. Look at
all these people lurking around.
I don't think they're lurking. No. I think it's like it chooses randomly.
I just will never forget when Walrat was lurking and then like
got exposed.
Got exposed by getting gifted. That was so funny.
Yeah. They might be lurking. Anyway. Did bro just say black licorice? Yeah, I know. And I thought, my bad, I thought you're Genshin because of that music. Oh, it's Skyrim music. With Genshin,
oh my god, look at that disgusting picture.
Well, it's classic.
No.
With Genshin, like, it was a weird thing, because I had fun with it, but I really was just having fun with, like, the stream being really active and there being a lot of, like, response in the chat. But to this day, I kind of regret, like, feeding into that at all. Not even because of the money that we spent. Like, I think it was money well spent. It was fun streams, and it was good, and we spent a lot of money. But it was fun, and there were good streams because of it. But, like, I just don't like that type of thing. I didn't then, and I didn't, like... and it was legit peak. Yeah, like, it was fun while it lasted, I guess, but I don't like stuff like that in games or media or whatever. Like, the storytelling and shit is just predatory, and the whole thing is just fucked and not good. Like, not even quality. The only thing that's quality about it are the character designs, but that's not something that's unique to Genshin, and they're not even that good. They're just like, the aesthetic is dumb. I don't know. I hate Genshin now, and I really wish that I didn't feed into that. Even if Genshin was fun to stream at some times, it was really, like, I just hate it. I hate Genshin. I hate those games.
I really liked Genshin. I think the only thing that deters me from it is I'm not that interested in the story. I just like playing the game. But the problem is like you have to go through so many like monologues of stuff that I don't really care about. Like I like the, I don't know, like even to some extent I like grinding to try and like get certain things to like upgrade something and, you know, then have a better item. But the like very repetitive tasks, like you have to do the chores every day.
And you can't do as many as you want. You can only do a certain amount per day because they want it to last a long time. So they cap out the amount of shit that you can do in a day. So then it's not even a game. It's like it literally becomes a job. Like you can't even get ahead of it. Because you know, you'll reach end game faster and they don't want that. So
yeah.
It's fucking trash. Like, and it's the story, like everyone, when we were playing it, people are so sucked into that world and that type of game that they like, I don't think they care about this, but the story is literally only there, even if there's like cool part. I don't even think there's anything that was that cool about it. Like it's all there to sucker you in to spend money, and there's not even any of it that can be done without that. Like free to play is a complete scam. And it's trash. It's fucking garbage. Don't sweat, you've been going pretty hard at it. We OG's gonna stay, new people coming in. You're doing great. That said, Paw Patrol reactions are still pending since 2020, though. Kudos, Carson Lindsay. Thank you, Preactos.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I guess, that's one thing that we've been putting off, those Paw Patrol reactions.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
Toilet Bound, Hanako-kun, Paw Patrol, all the classics that we haven't been able to get to, unfortunately. Just too busy.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the super chat, and thank you, Dark, and thank you, Preactos. What up, Drip Billy? What up, Artemis? What up, Christian Montgomery? And all the other people we've been talking to.
Genshin better than Skyrim.
Horror movie reaction. That's what we were going to talk about. Is we might be doing. We'll see how we feel after the stream, but we wanted to record one tonight and edit it tonight and post it. We were going to record it yesterday, but we didn't get around to because we had to watch One Piece. Mm-hmm. But we're wondering what movie you guys would want us to watch if we were going to post one tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give some suggestions.
We might do it really quick. I might stay up and edit it and post it because it might be worth it. Because we really want to get back on top of things, and that's the kind of thing that we need to do. Because we could keep saying, that's the thing where, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've aged a few years since the start of the show. Lindsay stayed the same, but I've aged a few years since the start of YouTube. And every year it seems like whenever an event comes around, I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll try next year. And it's like, how many next years before it's just over? Not life. I'm saying like YouTube, that life too. But still, it's like,
Love the Hereditary reaction. Yeah, because of Hereditary, we were thinking of watching Midsummer. But, I know that's kind of less of a that's a freaky movie, but I don't really know if it's, a Halloween type of movie,
Yeah, it's a kind of a horror movie.
Yeah.
The Thing is a good idea. I feel like The Thing would probably be a really good one. I've wanted to do The Thing for a while. I obviously know about it. I think I know the ending. I think I know a lot about it, and I've seen a lot of the big scenes and stuff. But, yeah, I think it would be really fun to watch. The Thing is a classic. I haven't actually watched the movie. Post the remaining Fruits Basket reaction. I really should, since we're trying to really post. We want to post every day, even if it's not a big video. We've been planning on doing
just trying to get
random
back
stuff.
To it.
We want to make a list of all the videos that we have, because we have a bunch of videos that we recorded over the years, but just never posted to YouTube. And in some cases didn't even post them to Patreon. I just never got around to editing them. It was those things where we just watched something right before we started reacting to actual shows and never got around to
we'll
posting
save this for when we
Yeah.
need a random video, and then we need a random video and we don't go and get it.
Yeah.
But we've also been trying to do...
I love Donnie Darko, by the way. My favorite
trying
movie.
to do, other stuff, like the Blue Box OP. We didn't do it when it first came out, but then the other day we were like, oh, let's just watch that and make that a video. And then yesterday we were like, oh, we haven't got the Avatar edits back yet because we took too long to send them off. So then we were like, oh shit, what can we do? Oh, we'll post the Blue Box OP. And then it was like, oh, why don't we do that all the time, you know? It's, it gets hard when you try to think about you want to stick to a schedule, or you want to post certain videos, or you feel like, oh, I missed the hype on this one, so there's no point to post it, but why not, if posting something, even if it doesn't do as good as it could have, doesn't mean that it's not worth
doing.
But yeah, with the Fruits Basket thing, it's just hopefully eventually it'll go up.
Mm-hmm.
And we can finish it off. Was it literally just the last episode, or was it the last couple? Maybe the last 3?
What?
For Fruits Basket.
Yeah, something like that. I don't even know. Time for your old reliable June Maeda series.
I don't know if it's that reliable.
Well, that's the thing, is I feel like at a different time, I feel like we should just kept going with stuff like that. Maybe? Because I feel like if we posted that now, it would do even worse than when we were starting. Genuinely. Or maybe you just feel that way because our standards are higher. But, I feel like it would tank our channel so much to do something like that. And that's something that we didn't have to worry about at once upon a time when everyone was watching way more YouTube. But like,
Well, it's also, we used to have Naruto on this channel, so it was like the whole structure of our channel was like, okay, we'll have Naruto, we'll post that 5 days a week, and then whatever else we post can be as good or as bad as anything, because Naruto is like holding us steady into a standard and we're always increasing. But now that we moved One Piece onto a separate channel, we have to be sometimes a little bit more careful of the main channel, because we don't want to post things and then YouTube's like, this channel sucks now and no one likes it.
Yeah.
So we hate it and we won't recommend it to anyone.
Yeah. What happened to JJK? Well, just Stevenson Johnson. What happened to the JJK re-reactions and discussions? We did the first thing of it, and I don't even know what happened at the time, but it was literally like almost a year ago at this point, maybe even more. Anyway.
But hopefully, I mean, we want to continue it, but I think right now we'll wait till season 3 gets announced, and then we'll do the rewatch as a preparation. Because I feel like if we watched it right now, we would then maybe have to even rewatch it.
Yeah.
Before the third one, so it might be good to, like, you know, build up the hype a little bit closer too.
The Ritual could be a cool movie reaction. Everyone's saying Scream or The Thing. What do you think would be better for us? I always thought The Scream was like more funny. Any news on season 3? Not at the moment, but it's gonna happen. I mean, it might take a couple years, but it'll happen. Yeah, I wanted to continue with the JJK stuff too. It's just the idea was to ride the hype of like JJK after it came out, and then like continue that, because we got a lot of momentum after JJK, and we just kind of petered out on it, and it's unfortunate, but it's our fault. What do you guys think would do better as a reaction? Do you think we would have a better reaction, or do you think the video would do better for Scream or The Thing? Like, do more people watch Scream because it's like funny, or The Thing because it's scary? Keep dropping this magnet. Scream's more of a Halloween pick. That's a good point. No, finish season 2. I mean the re-reactions and because we were gonna do a podcast. I don't think we even did a podcast for season 2.
No, we were gonna re-react and then do a podcast, because that's what we did for season 1.
We didn't do a podcast for season 2. We did it for Hidden Inventory.
Oh yeah.
And then we didn't do it for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate. That's what it was gonna be. It was gonna be like a lot of people were waiting for our podcast, because we had like streamed some manga reading. Oh, that was after the debacle with the Sukuna versus Maharaga fight. And we checked out the manga for that to compare it, because there was all the controversy with the animation and stuff. And I had to re-react to it because I was just being dumb as shit, honestly. And yeah, but that was the thing, is a lot of people really were invested in like our review and discussion around JJK. So to like milk that or get the most out of it, we also wanted to like get people on our streams and stuff, because we were going to start streaming on Twitch a little bit more. I was going to focus. We were going to do more different things, like anime reactions on Twitch, to like, I don't know, expand and grow and stuff like that. And it was a really big plan. And then after doing all the re-reactions and stuff like that, and getting in detail with JJK on Twitch, then we would do the podcast.
Because we would fully know everything that we'd be talking about. Like, we felt like we needed to really, like, deep dive into it, you know?
Let's do a poll. Yeah, good idea. How do I even do both down here?
Yeah.
There we go. Pull up. I feel like JJK has lost a lot of his interest after the manga ending. It's probably not worth going back to him until more anime episodes get announced. Most likely. Damn, Drip Billy with the $1 donation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Weird that you didn't get a membership.
What, does it automatically do that?
Well, I thought that if somebody who's he was actively chatting, but he didn't get a membership.
Oh.
That's strange. Oh my god, Rafik, 145. Hi, I hope you're really enjoying One Piece. After Thoroughbark, you're about to witness the best and most critical arcs. Will you react to Bleach? Here's the thing with Bleach. I don't want to talk about One Piece.
Just
but thank you.
But thank you.
But thank you for the donation. But, with Bleach, we want to do Bleach eventually. Probably sooner rather than later if we do it. The thing about Bleach is, I'm spoiled on it for a decent bit of it. Not everything, just like some critical stuff. We don't want to talk about what that means or what that is because Lindsay doesn't know shit. But the other thing is, I'm really attached to the dub, and I think it's dub supremacy. I really love the dub, but in this day and age with like our channel, like I don't think that dub would do very good, you know? Mm-mm. So like I don't know. I don't know what we would do cuz and also I don't think 1,000 Year Blood War is dubbed or is the same people or whatever. I don't know what or how far the dub even goes. Like does it go to the end or does it go for 1,000 Year Blood War? I don't know the details around that. I don't know if people care or want to watch people watch the dub. Will we just be shooting ourselves in the foot immediately, doing all of these reactions, like hundreds of videos in dub, when most people want to watch the sub version? And that will, like, you know, because then we can get Japanese viewers and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what the answer is, because I really like... Oh, at the same time as the original? Do people watch that? Do people watch the dub, or is it like, is all the comments just gonna be like, watch sub, you know? Mm-hmm. And like people just won't really give a shit. Watch Dragon Ball reactions? Perhaps. It depends on if Lindsay wants to, because I think it might be fun. But also with the amount that I've talked about Dragon Ball, I think I've spoiled Lindsay on like a lot of shit. So
yeah, I also like.
Not that I don't think it matters that much in Dragon Ball. Honestly. Yeah,
and it's the same thing. Like Dragon Ball is like so long, and I feel like to me, like from clips that I've seen or things that you've talked about, even like the Broly movie. Like we watched the Broly movie when it came out, and I literally cried at the thing about Ba. But then I was so like uninterested and bored in like the other 75% of the movie. You know, so I feel like if we watched it, it would be very hit and miss for me, which I don't know if would make for like. It would be the thing like if we had unlimited time, and just unlimited energy to make videos, we could do it like on the side as like a Patreon exclusive or like, you know, an extra thing. But I don't know if it would be like I feel like there's a lot of other shows that I'm so much more interested in, like Bleach, for example. I'm genuinely interested in watching Bleach, you know, and that's always the thing that goes into like when Carson's already seen something. It's like if I'm the one that's going to be reacting to it, we want to make sure that it's not just like, oh, Carson grew up on Dragon Ball and loves Dragon Ball. We're going to show me Dragon Ball when I might not care that much about it. Or we could show me something like Avatar that Carson had already seen, but I really love Avatar, and he knew it was the kind of thing that I'd really enjoy. And, you know, have good reactions to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. New Gintama show coming next year. Oh my goodness, might be the time, finally. Bleach used to be my favorite series as a kid, but I feel like I never think about Bleach. Dub is good for Bleach, though. I think the dub is iconic. And I would want to watch it, but I don't know. And with Dragon Ball, I don't know. I would want to. I still haven't seen all of OG Dragon Ball. I watched it when I was a kid and everything. I watched it piece by piece, but I didn't catch it all when I was watching it as a kid. I've seen most of it, and I haven't even seen every episode of DBZ. But I've watched the only show that I've watched in its entirety is Dragon Ball GT. I watched it online, and I watched a lot of Z, and a lot of I watched, because in Canada how it worked was on YTV every weekday an episode of Dragon Ball aired, and then once a week on Wednesday an episode of Dragon Ball Z aired, and then once a week on Friday one episode of Dragon Ball GT aired. So I could watch Dragon Ball every day, and I did for a while, and then I could only watch one episode of the other two series a week. So I unfortunately didn't. I mostly learned about the series through the games, and then eventually when Mega Upload was a thing, and people were just like uploading full Dragon Ball seasons and episodes to Mega Upload, I would watch it. I watched it on there for one summer, and I watched a lot of DBZ and stuff, and watched most of the Saiyan Saga, I think, and Frieza and a bunch of shit. But I didn't. I still haven't watched everything, so it would be fun to go through and watch everything. Yeah, I don't know, and I also don't know if I don't know if people would want to see us watch it. Like, I think they would. I think Dragon Ball fans want to see everybody watch it, but I don't know if we're the type of people that they would want to see watch Dragon Ball. I think a lot of people would like to see us watch Bleach. There's definitely I could think of one or two people who want to see us watch Gintama, but and My Hero Academia, I feel like people would want to see us watch My Hero Academia. I don't know if the Dragon Ball community would want to hear what I have to say about Dragon Ball every day. You know?
Yeah. That's also the other thing, like, you know, some reactors are more suited to some shows other than other shows, just based on what the fan base kind of wants to hear about it, or what perspective they want on it, you know? It's like something with JoJo. Like, JoJo, I feel like is really hit or miss. Like, some people love to watch them react to JoJo. People were, like, pretty mediocre on our JoJo reactions.
It's because we hated Part 3, really.
Yeah.
Like, we just did not have a good reaction to Part 3. And that was so long.
Yeah. But, you know, it just, it depends. I'm not sure we're suited for Bleach either.
I feel like we could, there would definitely be some times where we'd have some things to say about it, and I think that after getting into One Piece, it's really recentered our standards.
Yeah.
Like, you know, our standards crept up over the years, higher than I think most people. But since watching One Piece, it's really a bad show, so no, I'm just kidding. But like,
it's so good despite some like pacing and animation issues.
It's a real reality check as like, I guess you could say reviewers or critics or whatever, like from that side of things, like being critical and then watching One Piece, it really kind of recenters you.
Yeah, I think especially because we started off with Naruto, and it was like my first thing. So then we start off with Naruto, and Naruto has like some really high highs and some pretty low lows. You know, like we have Sasuke's neck being 3 feet wide at some points.
Yeah.
And it can be kind of rough. We have them like running through the same like hallway for 50 episodes in a row. So then after we finished Naruto, then we watched a lot more, like, shorter but higher quality shows, I feel like.
Yeah.
That were much more consistent.
Like, the thing that replaced Naruto was Hunter x Hunter,
yes.
Haikyuu, shit like that. So it's, like,
the standards,
denser stuff.
Yeah. And, it's
more nutritious.
It's smaller, consistent across the board. And then, so then you get back to something like One Piece, and obviously we went into it knowing that it's older. Yeah. So we were prepared for that. But like as it's gone on, I feel like now when I watch other shows, I don't focus on things. I'm a bit more forgiving, I think, because I've seen how like, you know, it can be worth it to ignore certain things because, you know, it gets better or whatever, you know.
Yeah. We've talked about the idea behind creating a different channel for One Piece. We got the idea from Ruff Senpai, now captain of the sort of stupid crew, He did a thing a while back where he shuffled his channels around because he became like full on a One Piece YouTuber. And you know, we meet BOLDcast and Ruff like started at the same time, you know, during COVID. We had kind of a parallel rise, roughly, and then he really took off. He worked really hard, and then he got in, and he eclipsed us, and then he went into One Piece, and then he really went crazy. And he was really smart with the way he shuffled his channels around. He like made some changes, and I looked at that and I was like, he had his main channel that he built up over so long, doing anime reactions and stuff like that, similar to the way we do. He did One Piece on that channel. One Piece totally took over everything else, and then he started reacting to stuff on a separate channel because his channel was now a One Piece channel. So I saw that, but then more connected, we saw the JD Anime. They had their channel, and they're also a couple reaction channel, and they did Naruto around the same time we did Naruto, and so they faced a lot of the same kind of challenges of managing big shonen brain audience, and then, you know, people who are there for everything else, the same way we did. So seeing their success on we looked over their One Piece channel, and it was just like exploding because it's focused, and people who like One Piece or people who like Naruto, fan bases like that, they like their thing, and there's enough of that thing to where if you want to make an entire channel about it, it can be its own separate audience. So the idea is different channels for different audiences. So that way, you know, if people just want One Piece, they can get One Piece. If people just want us, they can get us. Problem is, One Piece is just, it takes a lot of time, especially because we're doing more One Piece than when we did Naruto. So it was already hard to balance things like other shows when we were doing Naruto, but now that we're doing One Piece, we did Naruto 5 days a week, and now we're doing One Piece 7 days a week, one episode every day, most days. But we've been skipping days here and there, and we might lower that down a little bit because it's you know, you don't think that 7 episodes of One Piece a week, skipping OP and, you know, filler and stuff and intros and stuff like that would be that much. But on the odd one, we have like a big discussion, and you got to sit down. You want to give it your all because there's a lot of people watching. It's like the main stage show that, like,
you want to be excited and have lots of energy.
Yeah, you want to bring your best to it. So, you know, you want to be awake, and oftentimes I'm not. Oftentimes I'm like fucked up or I'm tired, and I just like don't pay attention at the wrong points, and then I miss something, and then people shit on me for it. So it's just it's a big incentive to not kind of screw that up. So all of that together turns it from just like, oh, just One Piece, you know, whatever, send it off to the editor and it's good, to the main thing that is taking up most of your time and energy, more like. We have a lot of spare time, but it's energy. And then, so you put all that energy into that, which is the main thing, then you gotta go and watch fucking PNG lock and, you know, deal with people who are for some reason freaking out that it's the same or only like one step down a 20-step ladder, where it was only on step 3 out of 20 to begin with. Like, you know, you got to have all these crazy conversations like it's somehow fucking different. So after going through One Piece and putting all your energy into that, then you got to go do all of this. And it wouldn't be that hard, guys, if Freerun was airing, or if Jujutsu Kaisen was airing, or if we got Dawn to Dawn. We got Dawn to Dawn. If we had another Dawn to Dawn, or if we had another like thing, like, you know, Dawn to Dawn, it's getting really close for me to something like Jujutsu, but it's not. I think we'll have to get further into it to really feel like that sort of investment, because Jujutsu for me was like. Jujutsu, like, yeah, we had fucking last year was so crazy. Like, every time I think about it, I'm just like, oh my god, we had so many. Vinland Saga, we had Heavenly Delusion, we had fucking Dungeon Meshi, Freerun.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Like, wow, it was crazy. Anyway, so, you know, when you have all that shit going on, then you can, you know, you can save some of your energy, or, you know, you get more energy because there's more things to be excited about. When you got fucking PNG lock, then it's more difficult, and everything is, you know, when everything is that, then it just feels like it's, you know, I might as well just go and work on my fucking D&D session. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
Solo leveling core 2.
thank you again.
Oh, Rafiq. Thank you. Aren't you interested in doing manga readings, especially for Hunter x Hunter? Hunter x Hunter? No, not really. Because Lindsay doesn't want to do them, and I, you know, I don't know. Probably, maybe, probably not. Not for me.
Yeah. If we do any type of...
Not that I don't want to know what happens. I just don't want to do a manga reaction.
Yeah.
Because I read manga in the corner of a dark room on my iPad. So, like... And I engage with it, and I listen to music, and I don't talk to myself while I'm reading a fucking book. You know? Like, it's
a solo activity, whereas, like, watching a show... Even if you're watching a
watching
show,
a show is something that happens to you, and you can choose to do it. Like, you can choose to react to it. Reading a book is an active activity that, like, all of your focus is on that, and you can, like, do a weird let's play voice and, like, fucking, like, you're, I don't know, a Minecraft YouTuber just going on and on about these pages that you're reading, but it just... Maybe. I mean,
it could be possibly, like, if we ever did, I feel like a manga reaction wouldn't be quite right for us. I feel like potentially separately reading manga and then, like, reviewing it or something would be maybe more our style, like reading off camera and then just talking about it on camera. Mm-hmm. Although, like, something like maybe One Piece cover stories, because they're very short, that would be a different thing that we, when we talk about maybe scaling back the number of One Piece episodes slightly, to be able to do stuff like that, or movies or something,
Whenever I see people reacting to manga, it's usually people who are on our live stream, and it's mostly them reading the chat while they scroll on whatever the new manga reader is now, like on their web browser. They just, like, scroll down, look, and then look at their chat for a reaction. That's what I usually see for, like, manga reactions. You'd watch? Yeah, that's the weird... I don't know. That's something that I'm not going to get into because I've probably talked about this a million times, but, like, reactions are like a voyeuristic enterprise. Like, it's a true reaction is not what we do, really. Like, if I tried to watch Blue Period, like, when did that come out? Like, after it aired, whatever, this show Blue Period, I watched that myself. I laid on the couch. That was like 2 years ago now. And I even recorded myself. I'm like, what if I just gave a real reaction? Like, try to forget. I put on my phone, record on a tripod. I'm just going to, in the dark, I'm just going to forget that it's on and just watch the show. I didn't say a fucking word to myself. You know? And I'm just like, I don't know. We watched Shogun. It was all right. Well, yeah, you have to perform. Well, like, then, is it a reaction? I don't know. Because it's a balancing act that I feel like we genuinely attempt to strike, because you have to talk, you have to vocalize what's going on, but, like, there's plenty of time where I just don't make a face or I don't do anything, I feel like that's part of a reaction, that's part of it, and I feel like with this new wave of, in many ways, valid criticism to, like, reactors and stuff like that, there's starting to be this, like, idea that if you're doing a real reaction, that's not allowed all the time. Like, you can never do a real reaction. You have to do, like, the let's play voice for everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, that's a way bigger topic. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something you have to balance. You can't just sit there and say nothing all the time. But, like, if it's a genuine reaction, sometimes it's nonverbal. Henry Nicholas, Will Jones, Log. I didn't say hi to you, Mac. Welcome, and everybody else who's here. What if we just don't even play the Quarry and we just have a podcast instead? Do you guys want that? We could switch it, because we haven't been streaming at all, and I feel like we don't really talk like this anymore about shit. Yeah, if it's Hunter x Hunter, it'll be entertaining. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I bet I could have fun doing a manga reaction to Hunter x Hunter. Maybe everything I said is just meaningless. Maybe I go back on it. You know, I take it all back. Everything I've been talking about for 10 minutes, it's gone. Just delete it. I'm going to delete it after this, so don't clip me. But yeah, everything I said is wrong, and it's gone. I've been learning to say that recently, if you've noticed. I don't know if anybody has. I don't even know if Bob Mike Joe keeps it in the edits, but I've been saying that a lot. And I feel like it's been good for my mental health. Because before, like, I would have this, my humor's very, people say this all the time when they're just assholes, but it's, well, I guess both are true. My humor's very dry, and, like, it actually is, like, if I feel like there's a weird vibe with what I'm saying, or people aren't really picking up what I'm putting down, I'll just double down, because it's way more funny than apologizing or backtracking. The problem is when people aren't seeing the tongue-in-cheek nature, or don't have any emotional intelligence, or if I'm just being overly an asshole, then people take me seriously, and then I look like a fucking idiot. So I've been saying more and more, clarifying. I've been doing the opposite. I've been backpedaling a lot more. I've been being a coward a lot more, and it's been serving me well, because I feel like a lot of people take me more seriously and accept what I have to say when I extend that olive branch, even if it is less fun and it feels like I'm pandering sometimes. Because,
yeah, but then when you don't do that, then they listen to you more and aren't just like, oh, this guy is just always,
Exactly, that's what I mean, yeah.
This guy never pays any attention. He sucks. That's what I think every day when I listen to you.
I love when you're expressing yourself unforgivingly. That's the thing. Okay, so this is something that I feel like needs to make a comeback, because we've been talking a lot obviously off camera. We haven't been streaming and talking. But we've been talking a lot about, like, it feels like a lot, you know how what I was saying, we've been talking a lot about the,
criticizes my way of life.
Do you have any horror movie, horror movie icon? Oh no!
Where did it go?
It's Streamlabs, right? Dashboards.
I love how as soon as you were talking about that, it was like, and if anyone criticizes me, like, it went straight into that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. 1 second. Oh my god.
I need to make that longer.
Sorry. Yeah, I do need to make it longer. I haven't touched this in years. Recent events. Do you have any horror movie icon that you're afraid of, or really afraid of when you were kids? No, not particularly.
Really?
Yes. Yes. As far as we're concerned on YouTube, the answer to that is no, I don't have anyone like that. Anyway, what I was saying was, it feels like it's been feeling lately, like I've been rewatching some of our old reactions and stuff like that, like from our old place and stuff, and even when we first moved here, and even last year, and I just feel like I have no energy, and I feel like I've just been beaten down continuously, because for whatever reason, I just always have the less popular opinion. A lot of people think that I'm trying to be a smartass, or I think that I'm smarter than other people, and that's genuinely not it. I just have a different opinion, and that it's that simple. But also discourse online has gotten so much worse in the last 4 years that like before, people would at least write a paragraph and without insulting me, and if they insulted me, it'd be like one line and then I'd ban them. Now people, like, you can't have a different opinion. You cannot have a less popular opinion. I feel like I personally blame commentary YouTubers and Twitter. Those are the two things. Commentary YouTubers, by the way, are just people who read Twitter and then report it to their YouTube audience. But anyway, I feel like there's been some energy missing, and it's coincided, I'm starting to realize, with this growing reluctance to engage fully with things. Because before, if I had a problem with something, I would share it even if I knew that it was going to be shat on. We would watch an entire 6-month-long airing series and continue to watch it until it ended. And just to fully give my thought that it's bad for these reasons, because I wanted to be complete and give something a fair shot, and that's something that I cared about. But as I've moved forward, and the more we do that, the more...
We're not talking about Jujutsu.
No, we're not talking about Jujutsu. The more I realize, or the more that we have realized, is it just the less I dove into that, the more we were rewarded. And it was like, okay, just don't say the thing that's gonna piss people off, and then they're happy. What do you know? Well, now it's like I don't even have the drive to even make videos. So rather than doing 70% as good as people who are our same size, because I'm shitting on stuff, or rather being honest about what I feel about it, and we're just not, we're not doing as good as, say, our peers who are other reactors. Rather than just not doing as good, we then don't post because I'm too tired to hold my tongue every time anything I don't like happens, because people are gonna freak out and don't fucking care or want to listen. But then that prevents the people who actually do care and want to listen from being able to, because then we don't make anything. Then we don't post anything. So,
but then it is kind of weird now how it comes back around with Blue Lock, where then we constantly, we knew from the beginning, like, not from the beginning, but we, like, when we were watching season 1 of Blue Lock, we knew that it was bad. We said that it was bad, didn't think that would be controversial. Everyone else was like, no, this is absolute peak. And it was a weird thing during season 1 of Blue Lock that, like, you were getting really upset.
Yeah,
and I
didn't want to watch it anymore.
I was just trying to, like, I remember that was, like, a specific point in our channel where we were, like, really trying, like, okay, let's like, be more positive. But then we watched Blue Lock, and then I was like, you know what? Let's just enjoy the show for what it is. It's not the best show ever. It's, I mean, if it had good animation, maybe it would be the best, most craziest, over-the-top show ever in a ridiculous kind of way. But we found things that we liked. We like to make fun of Ego and all of his ridiculous, like, spending his budget on, like, useless, like, animations and, like, crazy stuff. And it's fun to make fun of that. But then there was some moments that were, like, genuinely really cool, So, but it was this thing where you felt like no one was listening to you.
Yeah.
And no one was acknowledging the fact that, like, they can still love the show, but there are these, like, factual issues that it has with the CG and the animation and stuff like that. But then during the course of that show, kind of, like, both of us kind of just like, okay, let's like lower our standards a little bit. That's still an issue, but let's not focus on it and just try and have fun with the show for what it is. Yeah. Which I think was a good lesson, because I do think that it has helped us to enjoy other things, like, since then. So it was kind of like, you know what? I look back fondly on that show, even though it wasn't my favorite at the time, but because it was like, I felt like, this giving me kind of a better outlook on how to just approach things and enjoy them for what they are, and try to, people are always like, turn your brain off, and it's not necessarily turn your brain off, but it's like enjoy it for what it is.
Nobody's asked. That's the thing. That's the other thing. Is like not like people in Jujutsu, for example. They, like, for this is the other extreme. People were asking us for our opinions. Like that's what was so rewarding about Jujutsu in that period, and Vinland Saga and Heavenly Delusion, but more with, I guess, Vinland Saga and Jujutsu as the higher extremes. People wanted our opinions, and like sometimes they would disagree, and sometimes, like, you know, they would be hateful. It was fortunate that most of the time our opinions were positive, because if our opinions were mostly negative, they would probably have been different, obviously. But the difference is, with what you were just talking about, is that like nobody was asking for our harsh takes on Blue Lock. Nobody, so we took it upon ourselves to do that for a show that nobody asked for it and nobody wanted it. And I feel like that's maybe the difference, is sometimes it's like the insights are interesting and sometimes they're not. It's nuance, you know. It's sometimes, you know, just blurting out whatever you're thinking in the moment is not the best move. And that's what I used to do all the time, is whatever I was thinking, I'm like, this is a reaction, I'm gonna react. Whatever my reaction is, whatever it is, good or bad, I'm going to say it. The problem is when your life is going bad, or when you've had a rough couple of weeks, then your reaction becomes poisoned by that, and it's basically unadmissible in a court of law, essentially. Oh. No, Trigger. You should watch Dawn to Dawn.
So
anyway,
glad you think I'm 80 years old.
Anyway, it's a big balance, but the point is, this whole year I feel like was an experiment in learning to not be myself. And I've done it, and it worked out in some ways, but I feel like in the long run, what it's done is people got bored. Like, new people came in, and new people might watch just the same amount or a little bit more than before if I don't say anything controversial. And again, I don't do it for controversy's sake. It's just sometimes I have differing opinions than the majority. It is what it is. So what I did was I just didn't share them, and we got rewarded. But then a lot of people who really like the other side of it, they don't care anymore. And we're losing people who watched for a long time because I don't have anything to say anymore. Because all the things that were interesting are gone.
Yeah, the thing is, when you don't have anything to say, but you also don't have like bombastic reactions, then it's like, what's the content, I guess. Yeah. You know? Because if
that's
you don't want to say
That's
anything,
why we talk a lot.
then
that was the point, is because we're not trying to be these people. We're not trying to be Nicholas Light. I'm not Nicholas Light. I'm not that guy. I'm not even less bombastic, but still, like, you know, like there's these girls, Halo and Kiss, who are reacting to One Piece now. I get recommended their videos sometimes. I don't watch anybody else's reactions these days because I'm really worried about spoilers and getting recommended shit that I don't want to see. But you know, it's just like vocal, big, emotional, and wearing your heart on your sleeve and like exposing yourself. Or not even all the time really exposing yourself, just like being loud and excited, you know? And if we're not those types of people, well, what is the content then? You know, like going back to what I was talking about reactions, where it's like, you can't just sit there and do nothing the whole time. So you got to do something, but it still has to be a reaction. So is it a reaction if you're just doing a video? Like, I'm not shitting on him at all. He's very successful, and I'm not even casting a single stone. I'm just pointing out a difference in our style versus his. But there's Danny Moda. He is a king of anime YouTubing. He's destroying it. He's killing it. He's making all the right decisions. He's doing everything well, and it's because the content, like, he'll make reactions. I don't know how, I'm not gonna, you know, this isn't a judgment thing, but his reactions are like, show the anime, cut full cam to him, saying a joke about what he just saw. And I don't know if he writes his jokes or if he's just really witty, but it comes off like he's doing like a BuzzFeed style, like that kind of a style of these, like a more produced thing. It's less of like, you know, our thing is documenting our experience with things and reviewing it and deep diving, and it's a lot less like produced than that. It's a lot more, you could say, indie than that. Not that he's like this big corpo or something, but it's like, I think you see what I mean. It's a different style. So, like, speaking, in what I talk about as a reaction, it's something that I care about, like, documenting your experience, but it has to be a balance. I don't know where I was going with this. There's a lot of different ways of going about it. This is where I was going. There's a lot of different ways of going about it, and people value different things in making their videos. What I really value is, because it's what I really value when I'm watching reactions. When I watch reactions to big moments in shows that I really love, what I looked for was the moments and the people putting together the shit that made me go insane when I was watching it to myself. When I saw that feeling in them, or if I didn't, hearing, like, and then on the other side, I really liked, like, video essays and long reviews and discussions about shows that I liked. I would watch, now known as Trixie the Golden Witch, I would watch Digibro, back in the day when they were known as Digibro. And I really liked their his discussion, her discussion on Erased back in the day, where I think it was with Jeff Thu from Mother's Basement. They did a whole podcast series on Erased and stuff, and it was very, like, you know, I disagree with a lot of stuff that was said in the podcast, but I learned from it. So I liked that, and I liked that idea of seeing the emotions and seeing the truth of people in a reaction. And that's what I wanted to do with this channel. And it seems like as the universe is going on, you have to either do a reaction or do a podcast video essay. And it's just because people are just not receptive to shit sometimes, and it's getting worse, is my point. It's getting way worse. It's getting so much worse, because that was always true. It was always a thing of, like, we were kind of in between two worlds with the style of our videos.
And we were trying to, like, we were trying to have, you know, a reaction and the discussion, and both are equally valid. I mean, sometimes there's not too much to discuss, depending on the show. But, you know, when it was warranted, we'd try to go into it, and, you know, then we'd try to make podcast and, like, discussion videos. And the thing is like, those are well received. But yeah, I do think that there's like a split of, like,
I love Nicholas Light, by the way. Sorry.
There's a split of people who really, you know, who like the discussions and stuff, and then the people who get super mad and offended at anything they hear in the discussion. And it's like, you don't have to watch it, but for some reason that they seemingly can't help themselves from watching something that they don't want to watch, and then they get mad at us.
Yeah.
Because they didn't click off the video once the discussion started, you know?
Yeah.
I also want to say thank you again.
Oh, Rafiq, you're sending too much money our way, my friend. Thank you so much.
But,
Kuroko's Basket.
And Slam Dunk.
The Slam Dunk movie was, like, really well loved, wasn't it? It was CG, but everyone seemed to like it. Slam Dunk was done by, I believe, the creator of Vagabond.
Yeah, those were, I feel like, somewhat on our radar more when we were watching Haikyuu and we were, like, into that. But, like, that as well as, Aoashi, like, the other soccer anime. I feel like, I mean, could be, like, eventuals. You know, like, the thing about Haikyuu is, like, we didn't love it because of the volleyball necessarily. We loved it because of, like, the story and the feeling. Also the volleyball.
I learned to love it because of the volleyball. I didn't expect that.
I guess the thing is, like, I didn't watch it because I loved volleyball. I love volleyball because I watch Haikyuu, you know? So other sports anime, maybe. I loved Run with the Wind. I saw someone mention that earlier. That was, like, so good. But again, it, like, made me interested in running because the show presented in such a way. So, like, you know, maybe watching, more basketball or more different soccer ones would make, you know, you never know, I guess.
Yeah.
I just want to go back.
Somebody said, you guys were talking about Drumroll Tony. Love Drumroll Tony. I've watched him for, like, since he like blew up. Chainsaw Man, I think around there is when I found him. But he reacted to the Hunter x Hunter ED's songs, and when ED2 came on, it was just such a light came on with him, because ED2 is the Hunting for Your Dream. It was just, like, such a banger for him, and it was like he had it was something I related to as a reactor, where it feels like he gets a lot of requests for things that are more simple, like people recommend to him, who's really analyzing the music, the kind of things that Christian Flores stopped spamming or you'll get banned. That they recommend him the kind of things that they might recommend to someone like us. He'll, you know, just any anime thing that's popular or poppin' that to the untrained ear is just a really good song, but he's like looking to teach something about teach something about music or about like composition and stuff. So sorry, I got thrown off. But yeah, oh sorry, I was talking about his Hunter x Hunter thing. So he goes through all these different shows and all these different songs that are maybe good for people, but like there's nothing to talk about. And then he gets to Hunting for Your Dream, and he just like is going in on like oh, and they're doing this and they're doing that and they're this, and it's just like I really related to that because it was like watching Vinland Saga. It really felt like, you know, we go through all these different shows and you know, many things have their ups and downs, but to get into something that's just like, this is fucking everything. Like, this is it. Like, I can tell you about this. I can talk about this, you know? Yeah, so good. I haven't seen the JJKOP's reaction.
I want to see, someone said, what was it? That no one reacts to cute animals like you guys, and I have to say, I think
like
that
Lindsay.
That's true. Yeah, specifically.
I'm gonna go bathroom 1 second.
Although it is, I do, one time that I do get annoyed at people is when they get so offended and so mad if I cry over an animal, but I don't cry about a person. Like if say a person gets like severely injured or killed or something, and then I don't cry about that, but I see an animal get like slightly hurt and I cry, then they get they lose their minds. They're like, they can't stand it, but it's literally a TV show and the animals are cute. I don't know what you want me to say. It's not real. What happened to the Deer Girl anime? We just didn't really keep up with it. Honestly. We would have liked to, but I can't remember. Something happened and then we weren't able to watch one of the episodes on the day that it came out, and we just didn't end up going back and watching it, because trying to watch multiple of those at once would be kind of a lot, honestly.
React to other League stuff? Maybe after Arcane Season 2? I don't know, probably. Because, like, when is Arcane Season 3 going to come out? Because we didn't want to react to League stuff after Season 1, after we watched Season 1, because Season 2 is coming out. So, you know, we don't want to be spoiled. Although I don't think that, like, it's weird. Arcane's such a weird thing, because I don't even know if anybody cares about spoilers with it. You know? Like, does anyone... maybe it's because we were so late that people didn't really care, because everybody, since Arcane Season 1, has gone into the lore of League a lot more. I don't know if I would... I don't know, maybe. I don't know if I'd be super interested in the lore of League, because I don't play it, and I don't really care to play it, but I don't know, maybe. Maybe it'd be cool.
Are you guys going to react to a new season of ReZero?
We thought about it, probably not. We were thinking about it, but
we thought every time anything new ReZero, we think like, what if, because ReZero was, well,
what do you mean anytime?
Anytime we like discuss about ReZero, we're like, what if we make a grand comeback to ReZero? And we thought about it, but then we thought about how if we would try to do that, we'd probably sacrifice and like fuck up on a lot of our other stuff. And didn't really think that it was worth it.
Yeah. Is Invincible done? We have not watched the rest of Invincible. React to Dragon Ball Daima. I thought about it. I might do it. If we did it, I would do it alone. But I'm not sure. Yeah, have you watched Blue Box? It's not a very good reaction show. That's what I was thinking. I don't know how many more romances I have in me. I'm gonna be 100% real. I don't give a fuck about romances. I feel like you need to be somebody who's gonna get that butterfly feeling when you see a cute anime girl in love, or when you see an anime boy shy that he's in love, or something. You need to care about that, and I could give less of a fucking dog shit about that. It is so boring. It's so fucking boring incel bait. Boy or girl incel. It's marketing happiness to people who are sad. And I'm really trying not to be sad. I don't want to get in the headspace of somebody that's sad. It's too taxing on me. So I don't give a shit about these fake teenagers falling in love over fucking badminton. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I don't care. Especially after Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket has reached Carson's absolute limit.
I don't, I should have identified this with Bunny Girl as well. I don't fucking care about these teenagers falling in love and holding hands. I don't give a shit. It's not cute. It's fucking bait. It's bait for sad people. And that's it. And it's boring. It's nothing it's not, there's nothing that happens. 'Cause unless you count butterflies in your stomach when they walk next to each other amidst fall leaves in the park. It's fucking cringe and boring. That's it.
So how do you feel about the romance in Dandadan so far?
It's great! Because it's not about that. It's funny. They're acting like people, not like these weird caricatures in a visual novel. They act like real teen. Oh. Did the internet crash? Oh no, I think it was just... Sorry, all of our pages died. 1 second. Are we okay? Are we live still? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we were live. Guess it didn't drop. Oh, geez. All of our pages crashed. Anyway. I probably shouldn't announce that. Anyway. Yeah, what was I saying? Romance is fucking boring. Sorry. It's not fun. It's very rarely fun. Dandadan, it's sick because it's funny. It's fun. That's why it's good, because it's fun. It's not trying to prey on your loneliness and assume that you're a 15-year-old who doesn't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It's not preying on your it's not like expecting you to get those butterflies in the stomach and then go to Twitter and make fan art of your fucking of the characters from the show and get a hashtag trending, because you felt this verklempt emotion in you. It's like
I think it also just depends. I know you had a lot of problems with Horimiya, but I think overall the romance in that was quite fun and refreshing, because you're saying they kind of just behaved more like normal people instead of just being ooh,
that's not
this
true.
And that. I don't know.
That's not true. Hori did. Hori behaved like a real person because she was a self-insert for the author. Miyamura was the ultimate caricature.
Yeah, that's true.
Clannad, we've seen Clannad. I love Clannad. Clannad is different because Clannad falls into what I was saying too, because it was literally a visual novel. But the anime, especially After Story, because it's focused on this relationship and them growing up. I'm not going to spoil it. No spoilers for Clannad, please. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's in my top 10. It focuses on the one path and the true path or whatever, and they're adults and they're going through problems, real problems, and they are humble, and it's hard, and it's it has its funny anime moments too, that has its charm, but it's not say, it's not like these shows that just I don't know. Could you imagine meeting some of these anime fucking waifus in real life? Could you imagine meeting a person that's like them? I don't think anyone who likes these girls, I don't know. That's too far. I feel like it's boring. It's boring because it's not I need everything to be realistic. I don't. But if you want me to be invested in something as serious as like a true relationship, then like they have to be realistic on some level, you know? Spy Family, I think, I don't even count that as a romance. Is that even a romance? Does shit happen in season 2? I feel like it's a comedy. Yeah. What happened to Fruits Basket? It's really hard to edit, and I just didn't get around to it, and it just snowballed, and a week turned into 2 weeks, turned into 6 months. So that's all it is. It'll probably be up at some point, but I just need to take the time to actually edit the episodes. That's it.
They would get claimed like 50 times combined with Carson being done with the romance and then having to rewatch it multiple times to get past the copyright. So it was a lot. Kaguya reactions were goated.
No, Kaguya's not trash. Do you guys even listening to what I'm saying? Kaguya's fun. And yeah, some parts of Kaguya are fucking annoying. When the show, like, you know, the show that was all about, oh, there's so much progress. Look, we're on season 2, and they're already, like, making this progress. You know? And then there are still times where it spins its wheels, as many romance series do, but Kaguya doesn't fall into the same traps all the time that all these other series do. Just like Clannad, again, is a literal visual novel. It's guilty of a lot of the things that I said. It's not like all romance is bad, but I'm not there for that, like, moment. I'm not there for it. I'm not there for that. If that's the draw, if that's like what the show is about, that's what you're selling to me, I'm not fucking buying it. If you're selling me aliens, ghosts, and the relationship building organically over that, I'm interested. If we're going to fight the Demon King with Frieren and the relationship is growing organically and at a normal pace and not with all of this, like, he really thinks this moments all the time, as if that's like something, like it's, you know, then I'm there. But if that feeling of like these kids walking in the school halls and he's like talking to another girl outside the classroom and she like holds her books up to her mouth and blushes while, you know, with her friends, and her friends like teasing her or something, and that's supposed to be fun, fuck off. Nobody cares. Why does anybody buy into this? It is bait, and you're a monkey for buying into it. Easy.
We did just talk about Blue Box. We probably won't check out the
We just talked about Blue Box. I think the verdict is no on Blue Box. What up, Moonflower Crown?
We both already seen Lord of the Rings, so.
Anyway, maybe this is a talking stream. I think this is a talking stream. We'll
Romance
continue
is the
until
genre
long.
I've had the hardest time finding anything worth watching. I think that it's true. I think that, like, in order to make it like just a romance, like the plot is the romance, I think takes a lot more skill to make something of high quality. And then I think, but I do think that it also takes a lot of skill to, you know, have a story with a convincing romance as a side plot that doesn't just get like shoehorned in at the end, like a certain very popular series.
Do you want Attack on Titan? Yeah. I thought you liked that. We had a whole podcast where you said that you liked it.
But I don't think, I think I like the idea the execution was maybe not, you know, the most supreme thing of all time.
That's honestly, like, I think that's something, this whole thing about romance, that's something that I don't give One Piece enough credit for. And it's because it's absent. So I don't notice that it's absent. But there's not all this shit, you know? There's not all this weird bait that's meant to, like, make my heart flutter. And I like that Oda, I don't want to, this is all I'm going to say about One Piece. We're not going to talk about One Piece. This is not a One Piece podcast discussion thing. This is not about that. That's it. But I'm going to say this. Like, somebody said that Oda said that none of the Straw Hats are going to, like, end up together. And I was playing this game where I'm like, oh, is Robin and Zoro going to, like, have a thing or something? Because I didn't know. I thought that, you know, it's a decent thing to, like, assume that maybe there'd be some sort of romantic development or some kind of thing like that. But he actively, I believe, said, no romance between them. That's not the point of the show. It's a wholesome thing about, like, friendship and companionship. It's about Nakama. It's not about all that shit. And I like that. And it's the same reason I liked a lot of Attack on Titan, is that Attack on Titan didn't make that its thing moment to moment. It was obviously a big part of it at a certain point in the story, and it probably should have been made a larger part throughout, but I like that he did, like, Isayama didn't make it his objective to go into that.
A little romance between me and Zoro, not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
I'm happy for you. You must be farther ahead than us. What was I gonna say? But at the same time, in Attack on Titan, like someone mentioned before, Ymir and Historia was like a really beautiful romance that like wasn't really focused on, but was kind of on the side, and was just like super well done and subtle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So subtle to the point that some people think that it didn't happen, but
yeah.
It clearly did.
Yeah. I think, yeah, people deny that it happens. Because they're weird. Silent Hill 2 remake. Last year, on this day, we played Silent Hill 2, or started it, and we still haven't completed it, so we'll probably complete that at some point, hopefully. I don't think we're going to end up playing Until Dawn this time, but we will continue it for sure. And then maybe if we still have a feeling for wanting to finish our backlog, then we'll go back and do Silent Hill 2. But I don't know if we'll play the remake, unless we really want to, you know, because you really like Silent Hill.
I do like it, but I'm really bad at it, and it's kind of hard to play. It makes me a little bit sick at some points. So I don't know, like, I really want to finish it. I don't know that I'd ever play it again, is my thing, you know?
Listen, oh yeah, fair enough. Listen, guys, I don't want to get into the whole fucking was Historia about that, because it's, you know, I'm not going to argue with that, because it's so clear to me. But anyway, we can agree to disagree. The remake will make Lindsay more sick, maybe? The original one was pretty bad for shit like that.
Thoughts on how Dandadan is approaching romance. I think the first step is having the characters actually have personalities. Yeah, I do agree. I like that. Yeah, they both have their own things, and you know, it's not just like, oh, you walk into the class and there's just like the hair is like blowing in the wind, and the cherry blossoms are like flying in the background, and the girl or the guy is just so spectacular, and like and then later on you find out that they have a personality.
Yeah.
You know, it's way cooler to be like, oh no, this person's a fucking loser, and you don't then she feels kind of bad for him, and then what I really love, it, like, slightly mild spoilers, is like when they have the moment of like, oh, I guess we're not tied together by, like, you know, magical stuff anymore, and we'll go our separate ways, and they kind of both have this moment of like,
yeah,
you know, is this goodbye forever? And then it's not, and then they're like, oh good, we're still, like, this meant something, and we're still friends, and this relationship is going to continue forward in whatever way it's going to choose to go.
Yeah.
And I feel like that moment is what really, like, kind of took it up a level for me, and is like, oh, I appreciate that, you know, that uncertainty and the hesitation, and like, I feel like it's very realistic.
Yeah.
It feels more realistic than just like, oh, we're like tied together by this thing, so now we have to be together, or like, oh, this thing impacted us so much that now we're like, you know, we'll never let each other go. It's like this thing where they feel like, you know, they're unsure of how the other person feels, and they're both like kind of hesitant to be like, oh, I still really want to be friends with you, but they both do, and so it comes across as very. But it
has that like that butterfly, like, the, you know.
Yeah, like there's a bit of drama there.
It's about that, but it feels right, and it doesn't feel like, and yeah, I guess, you know, it's a case by case. Well, Carson Bald arc was rushed. I have not finished Origairu. No, I have not. I haven't watched season 3. I think I watched the first episode and then stopped, but that was like years ago.
Carson Bald arc was rushed?
I'm due for an Origairu rewatch on my own at some point. I haven't watched it since we moved into our last place before we started BOLDcast. So like 4 years ago, I watched it. Banger show. Are you still DMing D&D? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we just had our Halloween session, and everyone was very happy with it. Everyone was very pleased. Everybody had a good time. Love to hear your thoughts on the ending. Yeah, I need to rewatch the whole show, just part of my ritual before I get into the ending, because I want to reconnect with the part of me that really loved that kind of thing before I get into the end. Because if I just watch the season 3, I think I'll probably think worse of it. Have we seen Nana? No. Lindsay, you really want to watch Nana, I thought.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Romance mangas mainly have you self-insert, but Dandadan is a romance between two characters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to... I
really like that Momo seems to be the main character. Mm-hmm. I think it fits a lot more. She seems to be the, if there is a main between them. It seems like at least the anime, I don't know about the manga, but it seems like the anime is making her out to be more the main character, but I like it.
His and Her Circumstances?
No.
Never even heard of it.
No, we're not going out on Halloween.
What are you guys excited for next season?
Is there even anything?
Well, there's Solo Leveling. There's whatever that show about that old guy.
Sakamoto Days.
Yeah.
Ooh, just a couple weeks ago I played D&D for the first time in 7 years, and the DM really put us through the ringer. It was super spooky. Nice.
JoJo fan named every Italian person. I would like to get back to JoJo at some point. I feel like I'm getting ready for it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to Demon Slayer movies. I hope they have a home release soon. Like, soon after it, because obviously you need to do the reaction. I just want to see Look Back. Yeah, I want to as well. Maybe we should react to it because it's Fujimoto, right? It looks really good. Never played D&D, but I played Baldur's Gate 3. It's one of my favorite experiences with the game. Same, yeah, I haven't finished it, but I got most of the way through Act 2, and it was very good. It's such a good game. It's a lot of fun. It's even I will say, even on the highest difficulty, it's still really easy for me. I don't know if that's because I'm a DM and I kind of think the right way with it, but I don't think I've died in combat since like early in the game, or made like any real mistakes, other than having to restart my playthrough because I wanted Romance Karlach. But other than that,
didn't you have to restart multiple times to do that?
Yeah, I got like 70 hours in the game, but I wanted to Romance Karlach, but I missed my chance, so I had to restart. I gotta say, probably not even worth it. Probably not even worth it.
I'm, I guess, like, just at the end of Act 1 of Baldur's Gate 3. I was playing it a lot, and then I just haven't had time lately, but I would like to.
It's a very time-consuming game because the movement is very slow, because it needs to be in order to feel
everything.
In order to feel like you're moving around at all or traveling to a different place, the movement needs to be really slow, because if you could move it like, if it was a first-person game, it would be like the size of an FPS map is like the fucking the size of the Act 1 map. It's not that big, at least the overworld. So, but yeah, so that takes up a lot of time, is the whole looting and shit like that.
I don't really want to stream Baldur's Gate. Like, I like playing it, Mm-hmm. Like, I found with Genshin, I enjoyed playing it, and then I would, like, kind of save it for streams, and then I, like, just kind of fell out of it, Mm-hmm. And, I'm really liking Baldur's Gate, and I'd rather just keep it and be able to just, play it on my own time, and,
I thought the Haikyuu movie would be out at this point. Rafiq, thank you for the other super chat. Any interest in Detective Conan? It's good? Probably not. I don't really have any interest in Detective Conan. Baldur's Gate 3 co-op would be a lot of fun. I don't think it would. I don't think co-op seems that fun. because the game's already really slow. The combat in real D&D is fun, but like in the game, it's like there's the one person making all the decisions for the story. You know, like you go into dialogue and you're in dialogue, and then you go, you know, like it's a single player game that they kind of tacked on co-op, and I don't feel like co-op adds to anything other than just dicking around and
I think honestly, I think like after I finish the game, maybe I would play again co-op on just like a
I like the suggestion. I'm not trying to
kind of mess around playthrough, you know. But like I like to be quite like if you were doing like more of like a speed runny, like, oh, you just go here to here and whatever happens happens, and you don't try to like get any type of like out, you know what I mean? Like if you're just going around, then maybe it could be fun. But I also like feel like I can't commit, like it's too long to commit to playing with other people, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd never like I can't get it done by myself.
We both play in a group. Yeah, I DM, and one of our other friends has been taking to DM recently, but I'm kind of like the main DM of the group, and then Lindsay plays as well. But yeah, Baldur's Gate, I honestly feel like it's just too easy. Like even like fights where I feel like I don't even know how much I would replay. I might do a Dark Urge playthrough after I finish, because it'll be different. But like the whole, like I feel like I've done everything that you can do in every location that I've been. I've done everything. I have like 100 and something hours in my current playthrough. In my first full playthrough, I played most of Act 1 in my first playthrough, and then there was some glitches with romancing people, so I had to restart because I wanted to make sure that I was getting the right content. So I restarted, and then I played through the whole all of Act 1, did everything again, did everything I didn't do, and explored everything to make sure there was no stone unturned. Then I moved on, did the Kresh, then I moved on, and now I'm doing the Shadowlands, and I'm halfway through that, and I'm about to get to the climax of that, and we'll see where that goes. But like I don't feel like I would get anything out of playing with other people or doing another just normal playthrough.
If I didn't, I think the problem may be for both of us is I've tried to go as thoroughly as possible, you know, and do everything the way that I would want to do it. So I feel like it would be way more fun to do a replay if I had just been kind of doing whatever and like missing a bunch of stuff, and then I could play again and discover all those things, you know? But also it's just a long time. Like there's games that I really like, and I've tried to, you know, replay games, and I don't know, my attention span is not good enough for it, you know? Like, I don't know. Like I really like, one of my favorite games was always the Sims 2 DS, an absolute classic of a game. And I remember the first time I was playing it, took me like, I don't know, like years to beat it. Because at the end is really hard, and you have to like find these like certain like things that level up your abilities, and they only appear in certain places at certain times. Anyway, and that was before I knew you could like look up where to find them and what days to find them on. But anyway, so like I remember I took so long, and then I wanted to replay it again, and I like literally, but that was a game that I could like speed run. I remember I like beat it within like a day or two, which is ridiculous because I would like change the time on my DS, and like the aliens would come and be like, "You time traveling cheater, get out of here." But I just really liked the game, but I liked that I was like in the mood to replay it, and I could replay it all at once. Yeah. You could never do, like, you couldn't do that with Baldur's Gate. You couldn't be like, today I'm going to fully replay Baldur's Gate, you know?
Yeah.
That's just not, that just wouldn't really be possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just too easy. Like, I was playing Honor Mode on my first run before I restarted. And I wish that on my second run I did. I just didn't want... The problem is with Honor Mode is that there's no override for saves. So, like, if there's any glitches, you're fucked. And you have to, like, restart. And it's too long of a restart to actually do it properly. So if you run into any problems, like I was having problems romancing and doing dialogue with characters. So that's what made me have to restart. And I was on Honor Mode, so I couldn't just reload before when I made the mistake. It was just over. So I either had to play a fucked up version of the game the rest of the time, or restart. And then when I restarted, I'd have to make the decision: do I want to do an honor mode, which I feel like was a lot better, or just sacrifice myself and try not to save scum whenever I can? And
if anyone,
Dan Simmons, have you guys seen the trailer for Witch Hat? Oh, you've been saying that. Sorry, I've been meaning to get to you, but Lindsay was in the middle of talking. No, have not. But thank you for the donation. Thank you very much, Dan Simmons. Your name will now be at the front of the bottom thing, even though a lot of these donations are literally like 2 years old. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. I love Baldur's Gate. I really love it. I just, it's just too easy for me. It's genuinely
It's also very time consuming. It's very easy to get, like, sucked into. Like, when we first got it, I would literally just, like, wake up.
Yeah, when we first
and
got it,
play Baldur's
that
Gate.
was interfering with YouTube when we first got it.
Yeah, we literally had to, like,
I was
take it away from ourselves.
I need to, like, it was seriously like, okay, we need to wake up and work, because if I'm gonna play Baldur's Gate, I need a solid 8 hours, or else I'm not gonna make any real progress.
Like, I don't know, like 70 hours within like the first week and a half. Like it was fucking ridiculous. He was getting like 2 hours of sleep so he could play Baldur's Gate, and I was even playing it a lot, like a lot. Like it's like addicting, and I feel like it's not the kind of thing that I can just like pick up and play for a little bit, and then put down. It's like I want to get into it. But then that also limits my time, because I'm just like, I have other things that I need to do.
It takes time to get into it. Like, I don't want to play Baldur's Gate if I'm like, because the thing is, I wanted to get immersed, because it would immerse me, and it was the first game in a long time that would get me invested fully in what was happening and engaged in everything and fully into it and like believe it, like it's been a long time, because we consume so much media that it's rare that I get something that's like, this is getting me. And so I wanted to give it my full attention, and I didn't want to just play for 3 hours, because then I get into it and then I get out, and then I feel like I wouldn't get anything done. I didn't get the full experience. I didn't like feel like I got anywhere in the story. So I would need to play it for at least 8 hours straight in order to feel like I did something. There was a time I think I played it for like 20 hours straight. I stayed up like all night and most of the day and didn't do work.
Yeah.
Multiple times, I think.
There was multiple times. Yeah. And that's when it was becoming a problem. I
don't think it was a problem. I think it was great. Sometimes it's good to go degen mode and just experience life instead of worrying about shit all the time.
Yeah.
And we have the opportunity to do that with our job. It wasn't good, but it was good, because I got to experience something that I love fully. That's a good thing.
I guess the thing about it is it's good, but it's also, it's just hard to manage, doing that. Like, playing that game is like a full-time job, I feel like,
Mm-hmm. And I'm not usually, I think the thing, usually, I talk about this a lot when I talk about FromSoft games, that, like, I don't need to get into it. Whatever.
Also, I did see someone talk about the Life is Strange earlier, like,
oh, yeah,
a long time ago, and I think we're both pretty excited for that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to be as good, because I think it's a different studio. They got Hannah Tell back. It didn't sound like it was her playing Max, but they did. I guess she's just older now, because it's been fucking 9 years since the first Life is Strange came out. But it looks very different. It looks a little bit too polished, and I'm worried about that. I feel like Life is Strange True Colors made it look new and fluid enough and updated from Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange 2 to where it looked like more of a modern game with still maintaining the style of Life is Strange. But this one looks like a little bit more Telltale-ish. And, I don't know how to put it. Elden Ring DLC fell off. That was my fault. I wish I at least completed it, because I was excited and I was having fun with that boss fight. Shit just loses me, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I think it comes back to the standards talk. I think my standards are kind of high, and it may it's attention span or patience thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm decently patient when it comes to real life stuff, but when it comes to consuming media, it's like, there are things out there like Baldur's Gate. There are things like, so am I really going to invest just as much time into something that's grabbing me half as much as something as like Baldur's Gate. You know, there are so many things like that in the world. It feels like there are so many series like that. There are so many good things out there. And I already compromised a lot of my tastes to try and engage with things that a lot of people like, because it's my job to do it and it's kind of fun in its own way. But it's nothing beats that playing Baldur's Gate or playing whatever game that you like or watching whatever show you like for 20 hours straight and forgetting and like not only neglecting but actively pushing away the rest of your life because it's grabbing you so deeply. Like that to me is what that feeling is what made me want to do YouTube and this channel to begin with, is that feeling, that feeling of like it just takes you away. There's nothing else like it. And that to me is what life is about. That to me is what life has been about since I was a kid. Like watching movies or a new TV show or whatever. Like it felt like everything was in between those moments. And so when I'm playing something like Elden Ring and I need to master this boss in order to beat it, for what? It's cool, the characters are cool, the lore is interesting, but it's like a commitment, you know? If I want to commit to it, why don't I go to the gym and then fight that boss and try and, you know, grow or work and get something from it? If I'm not gonna get that like core feeling of satisfaction that I get from when it's something like Baldur's Gate, for example, if I'm not gonna get that from it, why don't I, instead of just watching a show I don't get that feeling from, record myself and discuss why I didn't get that feeling or why I feel like I didn't achieve that satisfaction, and then I can make it into my job. You know, why am I working for free at this game that, while cool, is not getting me anything? And maybe that's adult brain rot, you know? But that's kind of how I feel about a lot of shit like that. So, like, if it's not giving me the vibes of, like, what I felt with Baldur's Gate, what I felt with Fallout games or Skyrim, then, like, what's the point, you know? And I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Andrew Tate talks? What the fuck are you talking about? You could say that for every game, though? Yeah, and you should! Shouldn't you? Shouldn't you say that for everything that you do? Shouldn't you only consume, if you can help it, the things that grab you like that? Like, is that so high a bar? Is that so high a bar, so high standards that like you enjoy thoroughly the things that you like on a core level? Because like if you enjoy something 90%, what would you rather do? Would you rather play the game that gets you 90% to that feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment, or the game that gives you 100%? Because I guarantee you there is a game out there that you have not played or a show that you have not watched that will give you that feeling. Are you gonna watch this fucking thing just because your buddy said that it was good? Because it was peak? You know? Or are you gonna fucking say, fuck you, that's trash, I know it's trash, here's why, I'm gonna go do this. The only reason I don't do that all the time is because this is my job, and because I think that there is merit in exploring why that's not always the case with everything. You know, talking about that. That was the point of this channel to begin with.
You know, it's when we're reacting to something, it's like if something doesn't capture us in a certain way, you know, we like to explore why. What about that specific thing made it unlikable to us? And I feel like I've you know, learned a lot about, you know, how to tell why I like things or why I don't like things over the course of the channel. Because, like, you know, in your life you're like, oh, I just don't really like that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that thing. Who cares? I don't like it, you know?
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you have to discuss why, like, especially a lot of times earlier on, like in Naruto, I'd be like, I don't like that. And Carson would be like, harassing me and like, well, why don't you like that?
Well, we'd
And
be doing a podcast reviewing
Yeah.
Naruto, and
But-
I'd be like, why don't you like
but
that?
it was
You're like,
really,
I don't know.
but it would be really hard for me to, articulate or find the exact reason why. But I feel like lately I'm a little bit more, it can be easier to distinguish what makes something that I like and what makes something that I don't like, and what can be on paper something that I do like, but then when I actually see it, I'm like, not really, like there can be a premise of a show that's like, this sounds exactly like what I would want.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's still not what you want. So then it's like, did you not want what you think that you wanted? Or what was there something about that like kept it from actually, achieving that,
Mm-hmm.
I love your Avatar reaction. Do you plan to watch Legend of Korra? I promise you'll love it. Most reactors don't react to it, but it's amazing. Oh yeah, we will watch it. I don't know. I think there might be like a week or two break in between, where we can catch up on some other stuff. But we will watch it.
Does reactions not allow you to get that 100% fulfillment out of what you're reacting? Sometimes, yes. But sometimes it makes it better. Like, I don't think I would have liked Jujutsu as much as I did if we weren't reacting to it. I think that Vinland Saga was good enough to where it broke that barrier, to where I might have liked it even more because I was reacting to it, That's the other thing, is sometimes it can elevate it. Sometimes it can hamper it. Like I mean, honestly, One Piece. I feel like a lot of the people who love One Piece now, if they were in our shoes, they wouldn't like it as much if they had to do what we do. I think that it puts you in a circumstance that can hamper your enjoyment.
Mm-hmm. But I think
I think that we probably enjoy it more than we would have watching it alone. I don't think we would have continued with it nearly as much. We probably would have dropped into Skypiea. You know? But we continued because of the channel and because of everything, and because talking about it and engaging with it on a deeper level gives you more of that feeling. Is it Baldur's Gate to me on that? Like, not that I even, I need to finish Baldur's Gate. I haven't finished it, but that, again, that feeling of full encapsulation, that was already rare to me to begin with before the channel. So, it's not like, oh, everything that isn't that is bad. It's that, I don't know. It doesn't, One Piece doesn't give me that feeling. And that might be because we're reacting to it. But again, I don't think that we would be liking it as much as we do if we weren't reacting to it. Korra's all right. Some stuff, some really bad stuff. Don't talk about Korra. Yeah. I think Lindsay's going to really like Korra. And I'm going to talk about I'm going to save all that shit until the end, all my grievances. But I think that Lindsay will have a great time with Korra. And we shouldn't bog her down with all of our negative expectations with certain aspects of the series.
Me.
You guys are influencing her right now.
I
think that Lindsay's really going to love Korra.
Yeah, I do. I think that sometimes, I agree. Sometimes the reaction takes it to the next level. Sometimes it brings it down. I think there's a lot of shows that I watched that I probably wouldn't have picked up, if we weren't reacting to them, that I ended up really liking. And there's some stuff that I feel like originally the reaction hampered it, such as Demon Slayer, where I felt like the pressure of the reaction.
Yes, yeah. True.
And then it not living up to like my personal tastes in a show. There was this disconnect where I felt like, okay, I'm not reacting in the way that they want, but like I still have an opinion, but I'm getting like trampled over, and then there's this pressure to like not talk about the fact that like, it's very flashy and has beautiful animation. The colors are amazing. The character designs are amazing. Some parts of the story I really enjoy, but I just something about it isn't quite
landing. Yeah.
Something isn't quite like getting me in the emotional zone that I wish that I was in.
Yeah.
But then as it's gone on, I feel like reactions have helped because I'm just taking it for what it is and what it is to me, and not what it is to other people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm able to enjoy it and express the way that I enjoy it, without worrying about the fact that I'm not maybe as attached to the characters as a lot of people watching are,
Mm-hmm.
And for One Piece as well, I think like, yeah, there's been some moments that, being on the reaction has hurt because I feel like, oh, I don't want to make people mad by like shitting on the ball ordeal 1,000 times, but like, some stuff is bad. And then there's other things where like, you know, in the I don't want to get too much into it, but like the current arc that we just watched, I felt like I would have enjoyed that like the same equally regardless of whether there was a camera on me, because I was just genuinely having so much fun watching. I felt very immersed, you know? Yeah. And I think it depends on the show. I think Jujutsu. I don't think I would have been nearly as into Jujutsu if we weren't reacting to it and podcasting about it and like deep diving into it, because I was pretty underwhelmed by season 1. Honestly, you know, like it was okay. But I don't even know if I would have on my own bothered to watch season 2. You know, and I certainly wouldn't have rewatched season 1. And then done a huge podcast about it, and then learned to appreciate all of the things that are, you know, worth appreciating about it.
Yeah. You guys play Double Exposure? Yes. Somebody asked, I think it was Memitim, asked, oh yeah, speaking of JJKRL planning to do, should be a rewatch or is it dead? Yeah, it's not dead, but we've decided to stop it and postpone it and do basically what we did with season 1. When season 3 or whatever movie or whatever happens comes out, whenever that's announced or whenever that's going to happen.
Really refresh ourselves.
Just wait to do it right before, and then we can
and
release
build up hype as well.
Podcast as well. Red Dead Redemption. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption. I had it on the 360 back in the day, but I just never played it enough to finish it. But yeah.
I want to say I've been watching you since your first video in my junior year of high school. As a third-year college student, I still love it. Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Dub.
Would you ever play Persona 5? Carson, would you ever stream that critically acclaimed masterpiece, Gollum? Persona has always been something that we were interested in, I would say. But
it just feels like a visual novel-y, like that style of dialogue and stuff is like light novel, visual novel style JRPG shit where it's just wall of text after wall of text, and I just feel like I'm inevitable. Like it's always something. It's such a good style, and it seems like it's so interesting, but I don't know if I could like it and stream it. You know, like maybe if I went through it all on my own in a dark, again, like reading, because it's a book, right? Like most of the story comes in book form. So like, you really have to be a Game Grumpsy, like Dan and Aaron joking around and making jokes all the time and be okay with not fully engaging with that, you know? Like maybe if we were as good at streaming games as we were at reacting to shows, then something like that would be good, but I feel like it honestly wouldn't be interesting.
We also
maybe it would. I don't know.
So bad at being consistent
voiced, but
with
still
long streams. You know, like I feel like we would never finish if we did. Pirate Viv says, "I wish I could donate to you guys, to your guys' stream, but my money is for Patreon. Also, I have loved and appreciate One Piece more because of your discussions. I have not binged reactors like this before. Thank you."
Wow, Vivi, we've been seeing your. I think you and Trigger are top 2 commenters on ranked on our One Piece channel.
That's really nice.
So thank you for all of your support and for all of the pledges on Patreon and all the thanks for all the commenting and engaging and stuff over there. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always really nice to see, yeah, like you know, nice comments and like genuine engagement as well. Is you know is good.
Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. I'm kind of spoiled on Final Fantasy VII. It kind of like with isekai, kind of like what I was talking about with romance, kind of like stuff with death games. I've gone on rants about that. I feel like JRPGs similarly just aren't to my taste. I wish they were, because there's so many things that people who love anime and people who love the same things as I do and the same kind of stories love Final Fantasy and Persona and all those types of things, and you know, Nier. Shit, like Nier's a little bit different. It's more actiony, but still stuff like that. And it's just, I just don't vibe with that style for some reason. I really wish I did, but Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Remix have a different story, really. Yakuza 0. Again, I don't know if that's maybe I've always that's the thing is I wish that I feel like I just need the right entry. I don't know what it is, but all those types of things, Yakuza and like all those classics, like those classic series, Metal Gear Solid and is it Dante's Inferno? What song? Where's Bury the Light from? That song? I don't know, shit like that. These like the Japanese or the PlayStation Kid stuff, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, things like that. Those series, because I was more of a Nintendo kid, and but I missed out on all these like, and Silent Hill, like all Devil May Cry, yeah, shit like that. I never got into that. I never got into those because I didn't have them, and I'm not attached to all of those things. And I feel like if I were ever to start a gaming channel, like I could get into all those and there'd be enough content because I haven't played so much. I would just need to not be a douchebag, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if that's possible, to be honest.
I have 5 accounts on YouTube subscribed to both your channels. That's how dedicated
Wow.
I am for your channel to grow.
Thank you.
That is very nice.
Black Myth Wukong. I was really excited for it. I just missed the boat on it when it came out. I was gonna stream the shit out of that. I've been excited for that since it was announced like years ago. I wanted to get into it, but I don't even know if I like RPGs. Like, I don't know if I like them. I liked Fallout, I like Skyrim, but those are more, again, they're more like action-y games. I've been thinking, honestly, this is another huge rant. Oh my god, Trigger, thank you so much. Shout out to Chocobo, he does a great job in the One Piece Discords for your community. Yeah, he's huge. He's crazy. I gotta mod him on Discord. I gotta remember to do that. I modded him on Patreon. But yeah, he is very, very, very good. Mm-hmm. And thank you for another super chat. Thank you so much.
You.
But what was I even saying? I don't even remember. Whatever. I just
You don't know if you even like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I wish I did. I don't know if I like them. I really wish I did. I just think that, like, again, it's that thing of, okay, all right, another block of tech. Okay, all right, more dialogue. Great. Love dialogue. There's so much dialogue. I'm glad I get to experience these characters and nothing else for, like, 20 minutes straight, Oh, I'm super guilty of being like, I love this. Great reaction, insightful discussion, never comment. You had a minor misconception explained 15 episodes ago? Comment. Yeah, that's, I feel like I need to keep in mind that that's a lot of people, is that they only come out of the woodwork when there's something like that. Mm-hmm. And that it's not actually a measure of my worthlessness as a reviewer and that everyone hates me.
I think the thing is that like some people are like, fuck you, and then there's a lot of people like that are just trying to like clear something up. So,
Yeah.
But then because of like the people that are just like so extreme and being dumb, it all kind of like gets mixed in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. RPGs are way too long. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Is like all that shit I said about Baldur's Gate 3, haven't beaten it. All the crazy good things I said about it, I have not beaten it. One of my top 5 games ever was Breath of the Wild. Haven't beaten it. I usually don't beat games either, which is very bad for like a YouTuber who wants to play games. Is I usually play a lot. I've played many games, but I don't know how many games I've actually finished. Seen seen the complete
I might
screen
have beat
on
more
it.
games than you.
Probably. I have, I just don't do it. I don't know what it is. I move on,
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I'm bad about not beating games too. Like I played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and stopped at like the final part of both of those games. But yeah, I don't know. And I have for God of War, I played the original 3 and the like prequel one. Actually, I think I maybe like didn't play all of the first one because it was really not that fun. But I really loved the third one. And then for the newer like version of it, I don't know. It's like it's a different style of game, and I'm not sure if I would like it as much. But I think also what I liked about God of War is it wasn't that long of a game. Like, I don't, but I think the newer ones are maybe longer. Like, I'm pretty sure the original ones, like, if you tried, you could beat it, like, fairly quickly. Lindsay games like she watches TV shows. Exactly. You gotta leave the end unfinished. Are you gonna watch a movie today? Hopefully. Scream looks like it's winning right now.
I'm not thin enough to dress up as Sanji. Sanji's skinny. Speaking of finished it, so nice that Avatar ends in a good way. So many shows ending are trash. Oh, yeah.
It was very nice, like it was a very nice and satisfying ending, you know? And it's not like it was, like, shocking or, like, crazy, but it was really nice. You can get a chicken and have it run your real estate business. You wanna know what? Maybe we should play this game.
Zoro Sanji? I don't know. I don't want to talk about One Piece. I don't want to talk about One Piece. It's just going to invite problems. But to answer that one question...
Sanji.
Before I would have said Sanji, I think I'm in the Zoro camp currently. I've over the last few arcs, Zoro has grown on me a lot.
What show are you guys enjoying at the moment? Well, we just finished Avatar. The ending of that was really good. And we're liking Don Don Don. And One Piece right now is really good. I probably like it more and more invested than I ever have been. So overall things are pretty good right now, you know?
Yeah. No talking about stuff. Sorry. That's a spoiler, what you just said. Yeah. Persona 3 Reload opening, remake of Persona 3. Is that disturbing the peace? Look into my eyes. I just get memes of that all the time. You can fuck people. Oh, I thought you said you could fuck people with table salt, hot sauce, or fish cannon. Yakuza 0.
That's a completely different game.
From what I've heard, it's not that different. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No, I'm not really interested in either. It's like people talk a lot about Firefly and Buffy, but like they seem like just like they're cult classic shows that like are like. They're like real life equivalents of things like Adventure Time or
like I feel like a lot
like
of stuff like that is like you had to be there.
Yeah.
Like if you were like, I mean, I guess any age, but like for
yeah,
me,
literally at the same time you said that.
Like I feel like Supernatural is like I loved Supernatural when I was like I don't know like 14 or 15 or something, and it was so good. And like me and all my friends, we were on it. We loved Supernatural. Everything was Supernatural. And then it's just like, as it went on, then it just like was. And I know Supernatural is a lot longer than I think those things, and really fucking fell off. Like it fell off, and then it was worse, and then it like fell off again, and then I couldn't even keep going. But like, you know, it's the kind of thing that like I think that if I watched it for the first time now, I don't think I could get into it. But I look back very fondly on it, and if I rewatched it, I would probably still, you know, find a lot of the same enjoyment. But I, you know, since then, I found it a lot harder to get back into some of like, or to like re-get into things. Like after I was like kind of on Supernatural, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get into Doctor Who because that's like a a thing that people really like. And I was like, oh, I really like it, but I just didn't have the attention to stick with it. And like there's been many other things. Like the only thing that I feel like I've really gotten like into like that would be Grey's Anatomy. Since I've been an adult, like a thing that I've gotten really into and really stuck with. I watched Grey's Anatomy up until it was COVID in Grey's Anatomy, and then I was like, sorry, I'm not dealing with that again. And then I went back and I rewatched like the first like 3 or 4 seasons too.
Yeah. How you feel about Death Note? I feel like that is worth a conversation, but is ultimately wrong, but you're allowed to have your opinions. But, yeah, with shit, again, it's like, this is the bane that I've had for a long time. It's just that I don't have the popular opinions. I wish I had the popular opinions, and I wish that I liked things that other people liked the same way that they liked them, but I don't. I don't think I will like Steven Universe. I don't think I give a shit about Adventure Time or the regular show or Buffy or Firefly or fucking I don't know what it is. I don't give a fuck about that stuff. Over the Garden Wall, like shit like that. These like Cartoon Network-y stuff. I don't know. Nothing wrong with that? Well, there is when it's your job to engage with things that people enjoy. Then there's some wrong with it, because you either have to lie or, do nothing, I guess. Breaking Bad is very good. It's not even like it's not something I'm always super like. It's not ever like it's not a point of pride or anything. It's just is what it is. I don't see what other people see and shit like that. True Detective season 1, we actually watched that recently. I showed it to Lindsay because I don't think we were gonna react to it. I was holding out for a long time that we might react to it, but we got to the point where I was like, are we ever gonna watch this? And I need to watch a show that I love in order to make me like love watching shows again, because I was kind of depressed. So we just sat down and watched it, and Lindsay really liked it, and I was happy, and we watched, and I loved it even more. Yeah, it's awesome. Not gonna watch the rest of it because fuck that show, but yeah, you watch Shogun. We dropped it at like the last couple episodes because it got a little cartoonish. So I wasn't interested. Like, just the dialogue got like kind of, I don't know, felt weird. I think the problem is expectations for most TV shows are never met. A lot of them get canceled nowadays, end up being directional changes, staff changes, the rest of the series is utter garbage. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but things are, like, Western TV, in my opinion, is getting, like, worse and worse by the year. It's, like, it's kind of insane. Interest in Vikings, I've seen most of it. If Lindsay wants to react to it, we could.
I watched, like, the first, like, season or half season.
Oh. Then, yeah, there you go.
And, it didn't really grab me, you know?
I know that fucking Vikings Valhalla, the sequel series, is covering the same story as Vinland Saga. That's pretty funny. Just in a different way, but it's the same characters and the same part of the timeline, you know? Yeah, Shogun is good. Shogun is worth watching, I'd say.
Yeah, we didn't finish it. We watched most of it, though.
I just talked about all that. That's why they're talking about it. Yeah. Are you going to read or react to the Hunter x Hunter manga now that we're getting new chapters? If you want the answer to that question, you can finish once we're done. Go back to earlier in the stream, and we talked about that earlier. I only watched the first episode when I was visiting my family. Or the first couple episodes of Vikings Valhalla. A lot of people want to hear the same opinion that they already have and get weird when someone says something different. I think a lot of it is genuinely kids. And every year, like teenagers, I mean,
And there's
There's more of them every year, and more of them discover anime, and then more of them get into anime and have strong opinions because they are very emotional.
They like watch like one guy have a video essay on something about a show, and then anyone else who remotely disagrees have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Even if it's opinion based.
Yeah, and then all of their discourse is, rather than formed through like talking with people about things that they love, it's formed through being chronically online and arguing on Twitter and seeing who can like ratio the other one harder, or on Reddit. And that's how they deal with their opinions, is by listening to commentary YouTubers or video essayists whose vested interest it is to have the most popular opinion and repeat what they think is going to get the most likes, so that those people consume it, and then those people consume it and then regurgitate that opinion, and it's literally like an endless Uzumaki-esque spiral of fucking dystopianism, where it's literally like a feedback loop. And eventually, as culture goes on, what we're seeing is the kids that are growing up entering that environment at the stage that it continues to spiral out of control, and it's only getting worse, and people are getting more combative and less willing to agree to disagree. It's getting way worse. And the problem is, it's like people are learning as they get older, but then they stop talking. Just like how I was talking about earlier in the stream. It's like, I get older and then I'm like, is it even worth it to fucking bitch about these random things? Or is it better to just let it go? And then then you lose interest. But I can't lose interest, so I'm going to start being a hater again, I guess. Anyway. Superman and Lois, we're not interested in stuff like that.
Yeah, we're not really into superheroes very much. Although we did rewatch Iron Man, specifically the first one, recently. And it's just such a good movie.
It was very good.
It's so good. And then like
That's exactly what I'm talking about, maybe Tim, by the way. Yeah.
The second one, and I think we watched Avengers 2. And that might be where we stopped. But
yeah.
But specifically just the first Iron Man was so good. But I'm not that interested in superheroes.
Why would I figure out Dark Souls lore on my own when I can watch a Vati video? That's how Dark Souls. That's my biggest problem with Dark Souls. It's like, the lore of Dark Souls is so good. Well, would you be saying that if Vati wasn't making videos about it, or if all these lore YouTubers weren't making videos about it? Would you even know the lore? Would you, or like, because the whole point of that series is to have your own experience and have a unique experience, and that for it to be like an adventure. So. And for you to come up with, like, how Miyazaki talked about, like, the whole thing everybody repeats all the time. It's like, when he was a kid, he read all these English fantasy books or whatever and tried to come up with his own version of the story because he couldn't quite read all the words. So he tried to piece it together on his own. So then he made the games with that same idea in mind. So the idea is that you're supposed to play it, come up with your own version, and then go from there. But it's turned into this hive mind series where it's not about you coming up with your own story. It's about everybody learning the truth, and then it just spirals out of control because oftentimes the truth is incomprehensible because it's not meant to. It's written by multiple different people who are, somebody wrote this piece of lore on this item, whereas like somebody who's writing a piece of lore on a different item relates directly to that. But then they both relate to this other one that contradicts one of them, and then that spirals out of control. And so it's like the whole point of it is to have your own experience. But because of the way that online discourse is, we're now at a place where you can't have your own experience. You can only have the most popular experience or be dumb and you're cringe and you're just making that up. Like that's just your headcanon. This guy always gets shit confused with what he just comes up with, and he's poisoning the discourse with his bullshit. Whereas but don't take it too seriously as well. That type of shit. There's no unique experiences with that kind of thing. No, well, I mean, the whole point is for you to make up your own lore. The whole point is for you to put it together on your own and come up with your own version of the story, because that's what Miyazaki said that he did and that process inspired the way that he conceptualized the series. So it's not meant to be so concrete and in your face and like that. It's meant to be your own experience. But the internet and viewers flocking to content creators looking for answers, genuinely wanting to find some kind of a truth, it's turned from what was supposed to be unique personal experience and personal interpretations that it's supposed to be the kind of thing like, I don't even know how many of you can know this, because it's an old thing at this point. I'm old. But like, it's supposed to be like back in the day, before you had the internet in your house, when there was the family computer in your house and that was it, and like, it wasn't like a big thing to like Google shit all the time. You would play the game, your friend would play the game, and then at school you'd be like, oh my god, did you go down the left hallway? At the end there's a wall, and if you hit it you go down to like this crazy place. Like, oh my god, no. And down there was this crazy red snake. Oh my god, dude, a red snake? Yeah. No, red snake. Are you sure it's red? Yes, a red snake. I saw it. Bro, I found a sword in the next dungeon that has a red snake on it. It must have been this guy's sword or something. I don't know. Maybe we need to like go. Can I come over and then we can like go through and look at this? And now that's dead. That experience, which I believe is the intended experience, is dead. So now what people do is they watch YouTubers. Again, no hate against any YouTubers, obviously. They're just doing their job and engaging with the series the way that everyone else does now. But that experience, which I believe is the true thing, is now gone. And now all it is that the real lore, the truth? Are we getting closer to the truth? Does this theory have merit? And until you get to the fringe of those YouTubers and people who are coming up with new theories, and then they piece together different pieces of lore and that may or may not be true, and it's very almost like academic the way that people talk about like Elden Ring lore and shit. My point is, the internet's ruining everything. It's getting worse. That is because that was like, that's the essence of like, have your own opinion, learn about things in your own way, discuss different angles and figure out different things about the things that you love. But now it's just shouting each other down and who can, call people an R slur the funniest in Twitter replies and get the most likes and get a ratio. Like that's all and it's only getting worse, and it's frightening to me. It's not frightening, it's fucking annoying, actually. I'm gonna put this thing back up.
That's why I watch you guys, because of the difference of opinions that you have, and you don't follow the same opinion that the mass has, and seeing things from a different point of view that maybe I have. Thank you. Maybe it's a stupid question, but how fun is reacting and making videos?
Sometimes it's better than others, but
yeah,
it's worth it, I'd say. I'm gonna get another drink. One second. You want to talk about that?
About what? How fun is reacting and making videos? I think, like, overall it's pretty fun, but sometimes, like we've talked about a bit, it can be, a bit discouraging when people, depending on comments, and if people are being, mean or, I don't know. We can get discouraged very easily based on the reactions that other people have back to our reactions. Yeah. It can be hard to kind of deal with that, but it can even be hard to try to make videos during points when like the seasonals are really good. It's really good, mm-hmm. and it kind of just depends on that. If the seasonals aren't that great and we don't have these big things to look forward to, it can be a little bit harder to stay motivated when you don't have that like new fresh thing that everyone is so excited about.
Yeah, and honestly, with people get like, if we say something that people don't agree with and we get a lot of backlash, to me the problem is not even that one person is like saying and that like gets to me. That's not usually it to me. It's that it creates a rolling stone that grows. It creates a movement that people look down, people like maybe think something about our reactions, like, oh yeah, I didn't like that. And now instead of liking the video, commenting something positive, they go down and they see somebody call me a R-slur or whatever about whatever take I had that they disagreed with. And then instead of just being like, oh yeah, that was, whatever, moving on, they comment and agree with them. And now there's 2 comments. And it's like a mind virus where these people who are influenced by people in the comments, now it's a gathering thing. And then before you know it, 5 videos down the road of that type of shit, now there's like a movement of people in comment sections thinking this. And now, maybe there's somebody who makes a reply video saying something, repeating these ideas and being overly critical and being a lightning rod for this dissenting opinion. And not that it's because it's a dissenting opinion, but because it's like fun to shit on me or whoever. Like that's the real problem. I said this the other day. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Like, so that's why you often see me in comments like arguing with people when it gets a little bit out of hand, because if it's as simple as like you guys just didn't even watch the video, I say that and then those people go away, like that, like say that and then they're like, oh yeah, I guess didn't mean any hate, and then it's over. But if I leave it, it grows and then it spreads. It
becomes a popular opinion,
especially becomes a hugely popular
when
opinion.
Like known commenters or other YouTube channels potentially are commenting stuff like that, and then all these other people that like recognize them are like, oh, this person has the right opinion because I know that they comment stuff all the time,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've thought about this before. What do you guys think of no comment sections? Not on our videos, like across the internet. Like if you want to weigh in on something, you make your own post, whatever that is, on every site. Twitter should be gone no matter what. But like, rather than making a comment, you have to make a video. What if everybody who wanted to respond couldn't just leave their first thought underneath something? They had to go and do and say their own thing. They have just as much power as anyone else to say it. Say the whatever algorithm or discovery systems on these sites had the capability to give proper attention to other people as well, like not just focusing on like the main creators and then the people who comment. What if everybody like had to put out their thought? Because like making a comment versus making a post to people, there's a higher level of scrutiny when you have to post something. When people just leave their first thought as a comment. You can't leave your first thought as a post, except on Twitter, which is why Twitter fucking sucks. And there's no difference between a tweet and a reply, really, other than the tab that's on people's thing. So, like, I feel like it, like, as long as it wasn't taking away people's voices, it might be a good thing. And yeah, I think, well, yeah, TikTok sucks for a bunch of reasons, but, like, I think the algorithms play a big part in shit like that. But all these sites are doing are trying to farm engagement. That's why the comment sections are there. So the comment sections are there so that, they can gauge, oh, this percentage of people who watched the video commented. 10% of people watched the video left a comment. 10,000 people, that's 1,000 people who commented. Versus this one, 10,000 people watched this video, only 9% commented. Okay, well, which one are we going to recommend? Because this is keeping people on the platform more. If that metric and that whole thing was dead, people would have to hold themselves accountable for what they say, and if there weren't comments about it, because people can reply to something with just a comment and just be shitty, and that's where the like ratio thing starts, and people start trying to like one up each other rather than actually try and reach a conclusion, But yeah, it's obviously bigger than that. But it's a thought I had a while ago. Like, what if just all, like, what if there wasn't the creator and the viewer? What if everybody, like, because that's the idea of YouTube to begin with, was that everybody was a creator. That's why video responses were a thing. That's why stitching is on TikTok. Is like, the idea is it equalizes everyone so that everybody can have an equal opinion. It's like true freedom of speech. But it stops people, I think, from achieving a higher understanding of whatever topic they're commenting on. Because like if you just leave a comment on something, then you can just move on and just say whatever you want, researched or wrong or whatever. But if you have to craft a post, like, you know, like a full-on headline, this is what I think and here's why, then you have to do a here's why. You don't have to do a here's why in a comment. I don't know. More reply videos, I think it'll only make the problem worse.
Yeah, I think like
think so?
on like TikTok, it's a lot of people, like someone posts a video and then a bunch of people stitch it, and then everyone's just jumping on everyone, but not actually going back and like listening to the thing because there's not like a record here. It's like people are talking about someone over there, and you know what I mean, like and that's what I, you know. I feel like then things get more disconnected, and people aren't making like where sometimes people are making a comment to like address the person directly, but you know, it's to gain stuff within the comment section. But the thing about making another video that's like a separate entity is then that can blow up way more than the original video, and then all these other people are like, oh, I saw this first, so I think this person's hating on this other person is correct, so now I'm gonna like then file back over to the original thing and hate on it because I saw this comment. It's the same thing of like, you know, you're in the comment section, you see another channel that you like comment on this video, oh, this guy's opinion sucks, and then you're like, yeah, I like that person, this person's opinion sucks, but they were already there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't see this other thing that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like there can be just a lot of like dogpiling, for people can get invested in something that they didn't even care about just to hate on it, you know?
Yeah,
because a lot of people are just haters. As true with
comments.
Yeah, but they had to go to the video in the first place. And that, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. It doesn't really solve the problem, I guess, is the point. But it's like, I just feel like having to say something, like put effort into saying something, whatever that means, rather than just typing out whatever bullshit comes into your head, is... that could be better. No? Maybe not. I don't know. It was just a thought. Maybe it's not true. People are a problem with the internet itself. I guess that's true. But the internet introduces a lot of problems, like somebody said bots as well. Somebody said Russian bots, but it's not just Russia. It's everywhere. Bots from all over the place. It's AI is the problem. Oh. Yeah, it's I feel like the world peaked in 2007. Ever since then, it's been downhill. That's what I think. The surrounding years were good, but 2007 was the ultimate peak. Everything since 2007, everything was leading up to 2007, and everything since then has been shit. Oh, that's funny. Oh, speaking of bots, when I was streaming on Twitch, it was all bots. I had like 14 viewers constantly. One was Frank, one was Beast of Burden, and then a couple people would come in here and there, and then the rest of them were all bots. I didn't sign up for fucking bots. I don't know where they came from. All of them are bots. And I would just be sitting there alone, and then one day I looked, I'm like, this is all bots. Oh, Scream 1. Good to know.
Yeah.
Guys, you've missed out. If you were 3 in 2007, you fucking missed out. You guys missed out. That was the peak of humanity, and I'm not joking. Bro has a Gen X soul. What? How dare you? Wait, how many people don't actually remember 2007?
That YouTube stream was full of bots, like 1K people.
It was like 10K. Like, it was crazy. Yeah.
What?
It was a lot. It was maybe not that much. It was a lot. It was thousands of bots came in. I think 3,000.
On what stream?
I was streaming Apex alone like 3 years
I thought that you were trying to make a joke about Carson's like head shaving stream because there's a lot of people watching. I thought that it was like a jab at like not that many people were watching. It was all bots.
Oh yeah, to be fair, that wasn't an Obama thing. What I said about 2007. It wasn't political at all. It was just because of Transformers. No, I'm just kidding. It was because of Halo 3 and COD 4 and just everything that was happening.
Spider-Man 3. That's why Carson likes it, because he was he was acting in the Spider-Man franchise.
See, Sam Hamm was born in 2007. What did I say? 2007 was the peak year. Yeah. You guys missed out. I don't know what to tell you. You guys really missed out. Yeah, but the bots thing, I was playing Apex and it was literally like I had to end the stream because they just came in. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And we got flooded with bots, and then I was afraid we were gonna get like community guidelines struck. So I like went to, I had stopped the stream for the day and like went over to YouTube, like the chat bot, or not the chat bot, the like messaging thing, and was like, am I gonna get in shit if I get raided by a bunch of fucking bots and then I didn't do it? Like, am I gonna get reported or something? Or are we gonna get a strike? Walrat!
Walrat!
Love the housing crisis. That was 2008. Walrat. That was 2008.
Yeah, but Walrat was
Everybody's
there.
property value was through the fucking roof.
Walrat was there, chewing through everyone's walls in 2007, getting ready for the housing crisis.
Yes.
He was undercover, destroying everything behind the scenes, setting it all up to collapse.
The housing crisis happened in 2008. In 2007 was when all the loans were getting given out to people. So everyone was happy when they had all the loans. When all the loans were approved, everybody was rolling. It was the calm before the storm. It's not like there were no problems in 2007, but everyone had all the money in their pocket, or at least they thought they did. Turns out there was like their pockets were full of holes, but.
Still going strong? Exactly. That's why 2007 was the peak year. Feel good to have a nice classic BOLDcast rant.
Yap
classic
cast.
Yap.
Bold yap.
Classic
it does feel
big
good.
Yap. Didn't do what we were supposed to do.
This is why we did this back in the day. We usually would only last like half an hour, but like we did it enough to where it felt good. But yeah, we did this like every week. Jesus. Are you just looking up shit that wasn't in 2007? Earth fell off after 2016, TBH. That was another fall off, but it had already. It was in a half-life.
It was like
state.
Supernatural. It's like, yeah, it was going good. It goes down one time, and then it just goes down even more.
Whatever you say. Love Yapcasts. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I like doing this more than Until Dawn.
I would still like to play Until Dawn.
No, I do too.
But we need to get this out of the way first.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you guys heard it here first. I'm on my hater arc again. Expect more hot takes. That's why, honestly, back to that. Not for too long if something else comes up, but like, I was gonna cut out all the negative shit I said about Blue Lock. I was literally gonna cut it out because that's what I've been doing.
Please don't talk about One Piece. Just saying.
Yeah. I was literally gonna cut it out because that's what I've been doing, is I would just, whenever I've been going on those kind of rants about like, you know what, fuck this shit, or like, you know what, this was bad, I don't know why everyone's saying this or that, I think this or that, I just been cutting it out because that's just what's been working. But I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it in this time, and I think it worked. I think it engaged some conversation. I think that people, you know, had some things to say. And it was good. Mm-hmm. And I think it worked out. I think that, like, yeah. And at least I'm bringing energy to it instead of just, like, laying there not saying anything because I'm afraid I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. Mm-hmm. SpongeBob SquarePants Season 4, 2007? Let's go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Season 4 was the start of fall off of SpongeBob. Maybe 2006 was better. Because the movie is, like, the true ending of SpongeBob, right? First 3 seasons and then the movie. Or a couple good episodes after that, obviously, but it's not even about negativity. I just, you know, that's not why I'm doing it. It's just that negativity feeds the algorithm. In the reactions, that's not even true.
No.
In reactions, that's definitely not true.
If we wanted to make a lot more money and be a lot more successful, We should have just everything that we watch just be like, oh my god, that was so crazy. I love this show. See you guys later.
Yeah.
You know, we if we could pull that off.
I wish we
convincingly.
could get that kind of success by being haters. By
Yeah.
just going completely completely unhinged. No consideration, no, worried about what people are gonna say or whatever. I wish we could go full, like, that shot, you know what? That was shit. That was a terrible, honestly, like, why can't they just put money why can't they give the money to the fucking animators? Like, why can't they just do it? This show would be so much better if this or that. This framing was bad. I didn't get the emotion from this. If I could say that every time I thought it, and everyone hated it, and, it didn't matter, and that would get us it's not how it works. It's like, people don't want to hear it. So, and that's okay, because sometimes it's not worth saying. So that's fine. I mean, we do the thumbnail face thing too, but we don't actually do it. Lindsay cuts it out of the video.
Painstakingly, and I usually try and get it from the actual like a lot of people. I think a lot of people do like photo shoots essentially, and then they like take all those things. I think a lot of people find like a couple good ones, or like they take like one video where they had really a lot of crazy reactions, and then they take a bunch from there and like spread them around. But I really try and take them. If it's in that video, I try and get a picture of us from that video, unless there's like absolutely none, or I like don't have enough time, then I'll like grab a different one that's like relevant, or maybe from the same batch. But I feel like it adds to the authenticity of like, instead of every video just has like the most excited face, there's a variation. There's like sometimes we're like, or like smiling or laughing or excited. So then if you like are looking at our videos and there's one where we're like clearly freaking out in the thumbnail, you can have a good chance of assuming that we are freak out in the reaction.
Yeah.
So we try and make it like the best peak moment of that episode, but not like not every episode we're like screaming and flying out of our chair,
The thing is, we do the thing where we just hate for the love of the game sometimes and just make fun of shit, but people don't like that either. We try to be funny with it. Whenever we're in like we aren't super loving something, we try to at least make it entertaining and try to make a joke out of it or say something funny, but people don't give a fuck.
So you see people use the same picture in multiple videos. I do that sometimes if I'm like running short on time. But I try to make sure that they're not side by side.
The idea is to advertise that this video we're having a big reaction, like so. But some people have a different philosophy. That's why they reuse their faces for everything. It's that's like their watermark. It's like that's their stamp that they put on it. That face that they're making, that picture of them, people know and identify with them, and repeatably identify with that picture. That's what it is. God of War, Witcher 3. Lindsay loves God of War. But I don't think she could play the new ones.
Yeah, I think they'd make me sick.
I see people use the same picture multiple videos back to back. Yeah. What up, Jesse? Yeah, I like people who get excited at reactions. I really like when it's more obviously earnest and coming from what they really feel, and you can tell the difference. But there's sometimes where it's like there's a difference. I talk about this a lot. There's a difference between like straightening your tie and faking a reaction. There's a difference between being vocal, bringing the energy, and being excited. Would you be that way if you're watching alone? No. But there's a vibe to it that you can create and then ride your own wave, and then the show can like elevate that, and then it's we're animals, so it's not so rigid all the time, but it is there is a difference between like doing that and then like creating like a basis for you to react authentically and energetically, and like lining everything up so that you can give the realest and best version of your reaction to something, and just saying that you're being real and like full on not giving a fuck about it and grifting, you know.
An April 1st upload of you being overhyped about bad moments in shows you watched previously. Naruto drank bad milk. Pog. April 1st return to Boruto episode would be peak. We've talked about doing something like this, like with Tokyo Revengers or Boruto, or like just pretending that we, like going in disguise and pretending that we never watched Naruto. Like, we've thought of so many just like, honestly, just like dumb videos like that. And we always want to do it,
but they're just too hatery. Like
just,
they're funny, but it feels
it would be
too
so funny, like
picking
for
on
people like you guys who maybe like us and would get the joke and would think it was funny. But then there would also be a lot of people that would just be like, "This is dumb as fuck. What are you doing?" You know?
No. Yeah. Yeah, I guess should we end it there?
I think we should, and we can, I guess, watch Scream. If anyone is in the chat and has not voted for
last
the
chance
Thing
to vote on
or
the poll.
Scream, this is your last chance to vote on which one you want us to watch. Pretty much right now.
Mm-hmm.
And,
check it out.
Yeah.
Stop the count. It looks like it's pretty well Scream. I think everybody's voted. All right, it is Scream. We'll be watching Scream.
Better be good. If it's not, I'll blame all of you.
Edited stream VODs or super vids like that. Maybe it's at some point it's so little views it's not worth it. You know, and so many, like, nobody's really asking for something like that. I don't, like, maybe if we had big streams, you know, then it would be worth it to, like, build that up. I don't know, maybe.
It's just...
We also don't stream enough.
We also just, especially now, are trying really hard not to stretch ourselves too thin in any specific directions. We're trying to, like, bolster what we already have.
If we were popular enough to where we could just hire, like, a channel manager and just them do all of that and not worry about anything, then that would be different, but since our hands are very, very strongly on the wheel of this thing, then something like that, you know, like that's what a lot of people who are successful like that do. They either work themselves to death or have people to help them do that. And we have Bob Mike Joe who edits some of our reactions, but you know, there's two of us, so anything we make is cut in half for taxes, and then it's cut in half between the two of us, and then we pay, or before that, then we pay our editor. So we'd have to do that as well, take another chunk of the pie out. It's just not, we just aren't big enough to do that unless we wanted to invest in that. And I don't really want to right now. And I think that's okay. Scream Reaction would hopefully drop tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day. I might need an extra day. I want to promise tomorrow because it's Halloween, but it might be the day after. I don't know.
We'll see. You'll find out. Hopefully, I mean, at least the uncut would be on Patreon tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Potentially even tonight.
Yeah.
But, yeah, hopefully on YouTube very soon.
Alrighty. Well, good night, everybody. Have a good Halloween tomorrow, or whatever.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, drink responsibly, and drink and drive responsibly.
Do not drink and drive.
You heard me. Okay, see you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you so much for all the super chats
Yeah,
and
that was
everything
crazy. Thank
from
you very
Dark,
much.
from all of you. I don't have it on screen right now, so I can't thank everybody individually, but you know who you are. Thank you guys so much. Much love. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nah.